Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome aboard. Uh, okay. I believe a lot of people, more people are still going to join in. But good morning, everybody. How are you all feeling right now? How are you all doing? Welcome to today's webinar session. And I want to just assure us all that today we're going to be taking a lot of information home. So if I were you, I would right now, if I have not, I would right now get my book, my jotter, and my pen, because you're going to be getting a lot of knowledge and a lot of information from this session today. So yes, my name is Suliat Titilokwealaga, and I am the host for today's session. Right, and this is a webinar that is hosted by the DigiHive network. And the webinar title for, I'm sure we all know, it's the job market success. Job market success, how to craft the best CV, how to position yourself in the job market, how to actually get good fit, how to pitch yourself, how to do a lot of things for career professionals. So I believe we're all career professionals here. I'm sure I have a lot of, boss women and boss men here right now today. But yeah, as time goes by, we'll get to meet and we'll get to bond. So yeah, welcome once again. And before we start, I just want to say thank you to everyone, for, I know we're here for some important information, like want to gain knowledge and all. But regardless, I still want to say thank you for doing this for you, for joining in, for registering for this webinar to actually come and get information for your career. Thank you for wanting to be better. Thank you all. And to our speakers today, we're going to be having 5 great speakers, 5 professional speakers. I say a big thank you. Don't worry, I'm going to come to your DMs and come and kneel and bend very well, because I know you have prepared a lot of goodies for us for this session today. So thank you guys so much. So without no further ado, I want us to move into action and proceed. Yeah, so I would love to give the mic to my very good comrade, our big man in the community, our Baba of the Baba, to pass the mic to Comrade Sunday. Let me confirm if he's on the meeting, because yeah, he is. I can see him. So our Baba of the Baba, the king, of our, like, Baba Sali. When they say all this Baba Sali, yes, that is holding us, one of the pillars that is holding the DGI network. I'd like to pass the mic on to him to please, give us a short introduction about what the community does. So yeah, Comrade Sunday, welcome aboard, sir. Thank you.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. Thank you so much. I have a very big challenge with my system. I don't know what's happened. My network just vanished. So I'm logging in on my phone. So please pardon me for now. But since you can hear me, I think we are all good, right? Okay. So first of all, I'd like to say welcome to everybody who are here, all the executives of the DigiHive network, every member and everyone present, and our amiable speakers. I'd like to say thank you all for gracing the webinar. My name is Uchibo Sunday, and I'm also a member of the DigiHive network. And it's an honor to be here. So straight to the issue at hand, what do we do? What is the network all about? Well, DEI Network is actually a group of young professionals. And what do we do? We are all in different fields. Some people here, product managers, product designers, data analysts, doctors, and the likes. So what unite all of us? We are together to make impact in the society, Nigeria in particular, the world at large. And how do we intend doing that? We intend doing that by mentorship. We intend doing that by teaching people who might not know a few things that we may know. We intend doing that by bringing information. They say information is power. And once you have certain information, you are able to make certain decisions in life that could take you to where you need to be. So probably at some point in it, some people's life, they may not have that information, and we at DigiHive may have that information. And so that is how we intend doing that. And what we are doing here, our vision is to ensure that everyone that is part of DigiHive network, or people that we are able to reach out to, they are able to grow in their careers, whatever that career may be, they are able to grow, upskill, and all that. And also, one of the benefits of being a member of the DGI network is that what you guys are doing today, the webinar, usually we first do that to ourselves first, because we need strength to be able to carry someone on our backs. So one of the benefits of DGI network is that we have trainings that are particularly for our members. We are continually upskilling and educating ourselves, doing that through a couple of bigger and experienced mentors. And also, we get this knowledge by continual training. And so that is one of the benefit. Another benefit will be that a great opportunity for networking. I can tell you a lot of people in this network here, I get to know them in the course of the groups that we have met. So those are opportunities here and many more that I may not be able to see all of them because of time. So DigiHive Network is a great place to be. I am super proud of being among these great people. And I also enjoin everyone after the webinar today, if you see what we are doing and it looks like something that aligns with your goals and aspirations and ambitions, well, we welcome you and we said you can join us. Thank you, Soleat. You can have the mic now. Let me not talk too much this morning.
Thank you so much, Comrade Sunday. Thank you. Thank you so much for that beautiful, awesome introduction. So yes, like Comrade Sunday said, if you love to be a part of us, because I mean, you will definitely want to be a part of us, you can reach out to our website, DGI.com. We'll be dropping further information on the chat box, and furthermore, you would get to know how to reach us. You can reach any one of us, through probably these themes or through our contact info that would later share onto you. So yeah, thank you. Now we're moving on to the main event. We're getting ready. Like I said, please and please, I know we're doing this for ourselves, and if you know that, I mean, you are here to, I'm sure we're all here to get things. Please just get your jotters, get your pens ready. I have mine, so you can see I'm not just posting. I'm also here to learn. So please get your jotters, get your pen, because you are in for a treat. So I would love to welcome our first speaker, the person Victor Jonah. Yes, Mr. Victor Jonah is going to be going for us. He's going to be our first speaker for today's webinar, and is going to put us through a topic: best practices for networking and positioning for career professionals. I mean, how else do you want to get started if you don't know the best practices for networking and positioning for career professionals? So yes, Victor Jonah, I will hand over the mic to you, and then you can take us through that awesome ride. Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Yes, hello, Victor. Yes, welcome. Please, a round of applause for our speakers. Like I said earlier, we're bringing in professionals. So if I call any speaker, I really want to see the vibe, the energy. Use your reactions, clap, react, love emoji, anything you can do, please, to welcome these people. They have taken so much time to come here, prepared so much, come and share with us. And I assure you, we are in for a treat. So yeah, thank you. Welcome, Victor.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm actually also excited to be here. Much more, I'm actually excited to be sharing what I know. And I took out time to compile a presentation for this because I had lots of thoughts going through, but I needed to document them in a way and in a process that everybody can follow through. And I will just go right into it. I believe my screen should be sharing. Is that sharing? My screen is sharing.
Okay, so it's still coming up, I believe. I really can't see much, but I believe it's still coming. Okay, yes, I think I can see it now as well.
Okay.
Please, in case you want to notify or say anything, you can just drop your chat in the chat box, drop your text in the chat box. If you can't see the screen, if you can't hear us properly, please kindly drop text in the chat box. Thank you so much. Well, I think, Victor, we're good to go.
Okay. Perfect. Quickly, I presented. I'll be taking you through optimizing. I'll be taking you to best practices for networking and positioning, job seekers and for career professionals. So what I'll be teaching right now will be I will walk you through, I will touch on for people who are newly getting into tech, because I believe, for example, there are people who would want to find their way into new careers. And for other people who are already career professionals but are seeking to maybe switch roles or maybe improve their positions or their offerings so they can land better roles. So I'll be covering those two precisely. So I kind of streamlined it in a topic that will be easy to understand. And I will first of all walk you through the importance of your LinkedIn profile, and then how to position yourself, and how to also look for new opportunities, particularly on LinkedIn. So I believe everybody here is aware of LinkedIn and what LinkedIn does. If you're not aware of what LinkedIn does, LinkedIn is the platform, it's the globally recognized platform where every professional posts his or her profile. So the way you have Instagram, the way you have um, Twitter, the way you have Facebook, where you have your profiles. On LinkedIn, you also have your profile. But what people basically come to your LinkedIn to do is to see what you're doing, to see what you're about. That's what LinkedIn is all about. So if you are looking to be a professional and you do not have a LinkedIn account, then you need to actually put a LinkedIn account. That's the first thing you need to do. So it's important because anybody that wants to check you out will want to know, what does this person do? I don't know if you've been in a situation where somebody asks you, what do you do? On LinkedIn, all they need to do is go to your profile, and your profile should be able to tell them what this person does. So that is like a means of identification. So that's like an introduction of LinkedIn. So like I earlier said, we will be going through your LinkedIn profile, how to set up your LinkedIn profile, how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, and then how to use the Boolean search to enhance your career prospects. Please, if you're still here, let me know. So I won't just be moving when I'm sharing my screen, I don't get to hear a response. Okay. Hope my screen is still sharing, right?
Yes,
Yep,
yes,
it
Victor.
is.
We can still see your screen. Thank you.
Okay. All right, perfect. All right. So, like I earlier said, LinkedIn is like the most powerful social network for networking and job search, and also personal branding. People use LinkedIn for various reasons. People use LinkedIn for networking. People use LinkedIn for job search. People use network for personal branding. For example, people who do lots of freelancing and stuff like that, they would want to focus on how they can do personal branding and how they can do networking. For people who are career professionals, they might want to see what is going on in that industry, might want to network with people who are in that same industry as well. Or maybe you're seeking to get a new opportunity. LinkedIn is also that go-to. There are over 700 million users on LinkedIn. That tells you the power of LinkedIn. From all across the world, LinkedIn gives you access to people within your space from all walks from all parts of the world. So that is why it's important. And like I earlier said, if you are a career professional seeking to start out and you do not have a LinkedIn account, that is the first thing you're supposed to go and do. First thing you need to do is open a LinkedIn account and register. And if you have a LinkedIn account, you need to look at it if it's optimized or not. So one of the importance of having a profile on LinkedIn, particularly optimizing your profile or setting it up is because of the importance of keywords. If you are into SEO, search engine optimization, or you've heard about search engine optimization, you will understand what I'm talking about. Keywords are very powerful because that's like exactly what what is being called key and words. That is the only way people get to find you. If you understand how powerful keywords are, you would know how to strategically use them. And I'm walking you through this so you understand certain things first before I go down. And for some of us, for example, who already have like a LinkedIn account, you need to all go back to check to see if this LinkedIn is properly optimized. When it's optimized, basically some of the things is, okay, you put your picture there, you put whatever, you make all those updates. Have you put in words in a way you can be found? Because what the algorithm does for you is the algorithm is the system, the robot, the AI that controls LinkedIn. What it does is if somebody is looking for, let's say, for example, a graphics designer, or let's say is looking for a data analyst, when the person searches data analysts, for example, in Nigeria, data analyst in Abuja, it will only bring out people who have optimized. First of all, their profile is good, and they've also put in those words on their profile. It will rank them higher. So by ranking them higher, if I'm a potential job seeker, I'm a potential recruiter, and I'm looking for data analysts in Abuja, and I search data analyst in Abuja, and it brings me a list of people, I will first of all start checking from the first person. If I check from the first person and his profile is also optimized, and I'm a potential recruiter, I'm looking out for person, I'm a HR, I will message the person to know if the person is available, to know if the person is actually looking for a job. So that is how. So if you've not optimized, for example, you're doing data analysis, but on your profile, you put on your profile, instead of putting data analysis, you put, say, let's say you put a random keyword. Let's say you put Excel. You put good with Excel, for example. You put good with Excel. Data analysis, Excel is part of data analysis. Power Query is part of data analysis. It's part of data analysis, but because you've not optimized for the right keyword, you might not be found. You might be somewhere at the bottom. So while you might actually be looking for a job, the recruiter might not find you. So, and how do you get these keywords? How do you get these keywords? First of all, you, like what I put here, you do this, you search for openings that you are looking for. For example, you're looking for a data analyst role. You need to do the job search in data analyst to see exactly what people are saying. What are the keywords? What are the most repetitive thing that the recruiters are saying? You've checked 20, 30, 40, 50, or 100 recruiters, and you're seeing they're all repeating, they all have a pattern of repetition. You would want to incorporate those things. You look at people also within that field, look at what they're saying, look at their headline, and you incorporate those things. If you have all those things, you also usually stand a better chance of being found. So basically, that's like a walkthrough to let you know the importance of SEO and keywords, search engine optimization and keywords. So I believe by now you must have understood what LinkedIn is all about and the importance of LinkedIn So I will walk you through the process of setting up your profile or crafting your profile. So this picture here is an example of what your LinkedIn will look like or should look like, for example, and I will walk you through. You should ensure that your LinkedIn profile is professional, that you have a headshot. Now, everything is, if you look at this is Magdalene's profile, and she's a HR. Now, if you see her profile, she's a HR at Cisco. If you look at her profile, you would see that there is a banner: using technology to solve the world's biggest problem. Be the bridge, hashtag be the bridge. Now, you can also see her headshot. Now, you see she strategically put up a picture with a bridge connecting one part of the world with another part of the world. And she's trying to tell you this is what she does. She's a HR. What she does is she connects people who are looking for jobs or people who are looking for talents with the talent. Now she's trying to pass a message. And then you can see her headshot. She's smiling. You want to do a headshot that is professional. You don't want to send in a selfie. You did a selfie that you are holding your camera in your hand and you snapped, or that you are in a very busy environment, or that you are chilling somewhere. LinkedIn is not Instagram. You need to understand that it's not Instagram. If you're the kind of person, for example, that likes to hang out, that likes to chill, and you feel like you have really cool pictures where you're in a night, you can't post that on LinkedIn. You have to post a professional headshot, and you make sure you are smiling. For some of us, for example, you have headshots. You know how some of us have headshots where we are frowning. You know, some of the people that take headshots, like they have vowed that they will not get your picture that you're smiling. It's like people that take headshots, it's like they used to train them. If you're taking passport, make sure he's vexing, make sure the picture is fine. So you would want to make sure your profile is looking nice. Your headshot is nice. You're smiling, and it's on a very plain background, like you can see for Magdalene. It's on a plain background. You can see she's smiling, and the whole importance of that is welcoming. It's heartwarming. You want a potential recruiter to come to your page with all of the expectations, with all of the good impressions that, oh, wow, this person is smiling. You want to make a first good impression, and you don't know when you are making that impression because you don't know precisely who is actually getting a view of your profile. When you're sleeping, it might be in a different time zone. It might be in a US time zone. It might be an Australian time zone. You don't know who is looking at your profile. You understand? If you have an interview, you're going with a mind to make a good first
Well done,
impression.
Victor. I'm so sorry to cut you in, but I need you to round up now because we want to make sure that we keep to time. Yeah, so I think you have about 2 minutes left. Thank you.
All right. So you want a good profile, you want a good headshot, and then next, you fill out your about. So your about section here is expected to briefly talk about what you do. In your about section here, you should quickly talk about what you do, and it should be smartly filled out. You don't beat too much. You only put out, and then I think I should point out, if you're filling out your LinkedIn, you shouldn't put out that you do multiple things. For some of us, we have multiple things that we're doing. On LinkedIn, people should be able to identify you for one thing. So you should put out that one thing. And then when you're crafting your about, you should try to talk about that stuff and how good you are about that stuff and how far you've come. People should be able to look at your about, and in an instant, they should know exactly what you do. And then if you go down, you have the option to put out your job history, which is somewhere in your profile. You should only put out relevant job history. For example, if you're a data analyst, but let's say you worked at a restaurant, for example, you should not put out that you worked at the restaurant. You should only put out histories that you worked at as a data analyst one way or the other. Or if you worked at a restaurant, you should only look for experiences that were related to, for example, data analysis and put them out. You should not put different things that you did. And then you also have like the skills section. Try to fill out the skills section with all of the relevant skills for that career you're looking for, that line of career you're looking for. Look at the skills. What skills are recruiters looking for in the job search? If you have those skills, go and fill those skills up, because it also helps with the algorithm to rank, okay, this person is the person you're looking for. You have the certification, there's a certification part. Fill out the certification part and put out all of the things that the certifications that are relevant to your line. And then you have the volunteering part. Make sure you also fill out the volunteering part. So quickly, I will want to run through a Boolean search in like a minute or two. The Boolean search is a method people use to specifically refine search results, and basically is knowing how to use things in quotation marks and knowing how to use the and, or, and not function. And this a description of the using the and, the or, and the not, and I will quickly tell you how to use this. So for example, you are trying to look for a remote customer service representative job. Most of us, what we do is we go into the job section like this and we search for customer representative jobs. Now, the problem with that is you're not the only person doing that. There are thousands of people, if not millions of people doing that every single day as well. And where the opportunity might come, there might be a lot of competition and your chances are slim. So that is why professionals use Boolean search. Why? Because not all jobs that are posted on the job section. There are some that are posted on the post. People sometimes might be looking for a particular skill and they might post, please, I'm looking for so and so person. If you have the person in your network, please refer the person to me. And you might be surprised by the number of that. People do that a lot. Now, using the Boolean search is using a quotation. For example, you are looking for customer service representative. You'll put, for example, let's say you're looking for a remote customer service representative job. You will use the quotation symbol like I put here. Can you see this? In quotation, customer service representative, in quotation, hiring, and remote. Now, the reason the and is there is because I want only jobs that are remote. If I put customer service representative hiring and I don't put remote, it will give me jobs that are offering in Bangladesh. It can give me jobs that are in other countries that might require me to work there physically. But by putting remote, it will refine the search results. When you refine the search results, you can filter down by 2 weeks and you can scroll down and you will see opportunities. Now, when you see these opportunities, you should look out for opportunities that actually have emails in them. When you see opportunities that jobs offering on that post, when you've used the Boolean search and you've seen opportunities, for example, where there are emails, that's usually your best bet. Opportunities where there are emails. Why? Because with an email, you can craft an introduction email of who you are, and you can forward, you can send it and tell them, oh, I actually saw this opening and this is who I am, this is what I've done, this is what I've achieved, and I'm interested in, you're sounding enthusiastic. They will, most times, the majority of the cases, they will get back to you. And you're looking forward to an interview. In majority of the cases, they will get back to you via email. Once they get back to you via email, all that is left for you from there henceforth is to make a good impression and to be able to defend what you do and who you are. So when you're doing a Boolean search, when you're refining, always try to look out for opportunities that have an email. That is usually your best shot. Then engaging with your network. Once you've done that, you should try to network, like I earlier said, with people within your space. Try to network with people within your space. Don't just optimize your profile and you're having 20 followers, 20 following, 20 connections, and that is all. Follow as much people as you can follow. If you can follow 20,000 people, follow them. Follow people that in your so that when you're seeing things that in your feed, you can only see things that are related to your search, related to your career. So building relationships is important. It's very important. When you follow people, when there are opportunities, you will get to see them first on your timeline. So follow as much people that are within your space. And then finally, um, when you've done, an easy way to measure your success is to view your profile views and your analytics, and your profile views. So you should check out for connection requests, check your messages for job offers, check your analytics. When you go on LinkedIn, if people view, there are certain people you can't see who viewed, except you're using the premium version. But if you look at your analytics, sometimes you can easily tell who has been searching for you. You can easily see where you appeared. You know, I worked with someone where we optimized his profile, and over a month, the people who have been viewing his profile has been people who are either recruiters or people within the same space as him, or CEOs of the same company. So that is what you want. By that, you'll be able to measure your success that, okay, yes, you feel you have optimized your profile in such a way that can make a good impression, and then also that you can be easily found. So that is a way to measure your analytics, your success. So another thing is it takes time to get results. When you do that, don't be in a rush that you want to see results immediately. These are strategies that you can implement and you can begin to see results over time. And job hunting is not a partial, it's not a partial job. When you're job hunting, it's a full-time job. Job hunting itself is a full-time job, and you need to give it your all if you want to see the kind of results other people would not see. So basically, I've come to the ending of my presentation, and I added, if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm Victor Jonah on LinkedIn. Thank you very much. I believe I'm not in the questions section yet. So
Yes.
thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, Victor. Please, can we drop our claps
Thank
and
you.
reactions for Victor? Because I am very, very sure that, I mean, if not one, if not two of you guys must have gained a lot. Thank you so much, Victor. If you can, please, you can drop your LinkedIn URL in the chat box for them, for her, so that we can just click directly and, follow and follow through. I'm sure some people would probably have personal questions they might want to ask you privately. But yeah, thank you so much, Victor. That was really, really, really an awesome session. Yeah, so well
You're
done, guys. I
welcome.
hope we're still in the mood. I hope we're trying. I mean, we're still on track with our timing, and I hope we're still, all here. I hope nobody's phone is just by the couch and then you're in the kitchen. I really, really believe that we're all here. Well, before our next speaker comes in, I would love for us to do, it's like a task, really, just like an assignment that please I want to give on to you to make sure that we're following. So later on during the session, I will definitely be asking for, some of you's responses. So it's a professional bucket list. I want you all to create a professional bucket list, right? Victor just put us through how to optimize our LinkedIn, how to have a very crafted, good LinkedIn profile and all. So I want you all to create a professional bucket list. Now, what do I want you to have in your bucket list? You will have your goals, the career goals or aspirations that you want to achieve. Let's say in the space of 3 months, what are you looking to achieve with your career professions, like your career goals? So I want you to, itemize them, just 3 of them. You will share them later with me. I'm going to hacks, and then we're going to share and look at them, and then we can see how to discuss your LinkedIn profile and CV that can be tailored to support these goals. So this particular assignment will be rewarded, right? I mean, we're going to pick randomly. By the time I ask, few people now, let's say once it's time, I'll tell us to drop our career goals in the chat box. So the first 5 people, right, would get a free LinkedIn optimization reward, right? So Victor, Hi, and some other part of the member of the group would actually go onto your LinkedIn and, you know, itemize the things that will give you a one-on-one session on how to optimize your LinkedIn. We'll actually give you some tips on how to. So we're going to pick just 5 of you. So right now, anything you are doing, just make sure, I already told us earlier, get your jotter and your pen. So itemize them. Just 3 career goals that you know you really need. Let's say in the space of 6 months highest. List them, 3 short and precise. And then once it's time, I'm your host, and I'll definitely tell you when to drop it. So the first five chats, the text we get in the chat box, will get free LinkedIn optimization one-on-one session. Yeah, thank you so much. So that's that. Please don't forget. I'll probably just drop a brief of it in the chat box for us. But yes, I'll let us know once it's time. So it's something that you have to be in the session. I can't say if it's going to be at the end of the session or the beginning of the session. But I'm sure who doesn't want a free LinkedIn optimization class? Even I need one right now. So yeah. Okay, so moving on to the next item on our agenda would be to welcome our second speaker. Yes, our second speaker, the person of Anita. So like I said, please kindly clap, share my speakers on, because my speakers, you know, they've prepared a lot for us. I'm sure we all enjoyed Victor's session, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. We still have a lot to learn. So please, I really want you to, you know, share them up. So I have Anita here, and Anita will be guiding us through practical LinkedIn profile setup. So we're still in the LinkedIn space, because I mean, what's a career job on, or what's a market success without the LinkedIn? Because the LinkedIn is actually the market space, the big market space for us. So Anita is also here to put us through practical LinkedIn profile setup. Yeah, so welcome Anita, welcome aboard.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, hi everyone. Nice to be here. Nice to spend my Saturday with you all. Okay, so today's class is going to be very easy, very chill. So don't worry. Going to have fun, and it's going to be practical. So Victor has done a lot of the talking part. So I guess I will do very less of talking and more of show and tell. Right. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be doing like a show and tell. Look at profiles. Look at what we can fix in profiles, and then move ahead from there. So if there's actually anybody, I know Sulia was actually offering 1 free LinkedIn optimization. We might actually be able to take 1 on the call. So if you really, really want 1, sometime during the call, if I ask for it, you can just put your profile up, and then we'll use yours as a sample project. But let's get into it. So I do have a slide. However, I know Victor spent a lot talking about some of those things, so my slide is going to be very brief. Right. So why does LinkedIn optimization matter? If at any point you guys stop hearing me, please just notify me audibly, because I can't see the screen. All right. So okay, why does it matter? All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I think your screen is still coming up.
It's still coming up. Oh, okay.
Yes. But please confirm if you can see it, please. Confirm if you can see it. You can use the thumbs up reaction to confirm if you can see Anita's screen.
No, we can't see Anita anymore. We can't see Anita.
Yes.
We can't see her screen.
My screen.
Yeah, your screen is still coming up, I believe, because it's still blank here. We just have your name here. Nothing, not even your video.
Okay, so let's give that one more try. And now?
Oh, very good. We have you on board. So we have your screen visible, clear and visible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, happy that that's sorted. All right, so why should we optimize our LinkedIn? Why does it matter? Why are we spending so much time talking about LinkedIn? I'm not going to spend time here because Victor has, but a lot of recruiters find candidates on LinkedIn, and if your LinkedIn profile is optimized, you have more visibility. Thankfully, Victor handled search, how to search for jobs, how to use Boolean search, that's and or like searching for with the keywords. So I'm not going to get into all of that. I'm just going to handle optimizing your profile because Victor already spoke about the general thing, posting, interacting with people, and searching for jobs. So I'm not doing that. I'm saying, okay, now if you want to search for job, how do you make your profile distinctive enough? That's what we're doing. All right. And so what are the key areas to optimize? There are other areas that you can work around, like make better. Obviously, LinkedIn has so many parts, but these 4 areas are the most important areas for LinkedIn optimization. They are the best. They are the areas you want to actually focus on and make sure it's on point. So your headline, you want your professional hook. You want that's what captures people, right? That's the first thing people are saying about you. That's the hook, right? That's how you get them to actually stay on your profile. That's how you get them to look at your profile. That's how you get them to stay on your profile. So you want this to be catchy. You want this to be good. Summary. This is your elevator pitch, basically. You know how they say 2 minutes in the elevator. What will you say? That's exactly what your summary is. It's 2 minutes in the elevator. What will you say about yourself? Now, quick story. And while we're still talking about this, so I have 2 quick stories, right? A friend's experience and then mine. So my friend was working in Schneider, Nigeria. Schneider is an electrical company here. It's a global electrical company, German company with offices globally. And so he was working in the Nigerian office, in the Lagos office as a project manager. And just from LinkedIn, right? Because he was active on LinkedIn with a good profile and he was chatting with somebody. Somebody posted on LinkedIn that, somebody from Schneider that was handling Schneider accounts for, I think, LATAM or EMEA. It's basically a region. So Sub-Saharan Africa, East Asia, the head of that region was posting on LinkedIn that, after a few years, he's retiring. After many years in Schneider, he's retiring, and these are the lessons he has learned, blah, blah, blah. My friend went on, commented, said, hey, hi, this is such a wonderful achievement. I'm so proud of that you've gone through all of this, such a wonderful thing. In my current role, this is what I am doing. So it just makes sense that to see somebody who has spent years doing it and has succeeded in doing it. And the man was like, thank you so much for your kind words. And just like that, they started chatting up. And the man was like, I'm actually looking for somebody to replace me because I've not found a replacement and I have to leave. And my friend was like, I do project management here in Nigeria, so I have experience. And just play like that. I'm just trying to give you an example of, if you applied for that job, he wouldn't have gotten it, and that's the truth. If you had applied for it like through traditional means, there's no way they will go through how many CVs and pick his own, because it was going to be hard. But just because of those chats on LinkedIn, and the man obviously checked his profile and said, hey, you're actually quite knowledgeable about project management. You've been doing a lot of it apart from your responsibility in Schneider. And he says yes. And just like that, my friend suddenly became the head of Schneider for home projects in not just Africa, but it's handling Middle East Asia too. So he became his boss's boss, because he's now head over the Nigerian team, he's head over South African team, head over Egypt, all African countries, and then Middle East Asia too. And he was just relocated to Dubai. And so that's just a mind-blowing example of how just conversations on LinkedIn and how a good profile on LinkedIn can set you apart and can give you something that a traditional application, because most people will just say, okay, I'll see a job, I'll apply. The traditional application cannot give you. Referral from somebody on LinkedIn just shows how much of a difference that can make. So let's quickly move ahead. Focus on your achievement, showcase your skill. All right. Profile background. So I'm getting into what we're going to do today, right? Your profile, photo, and background. So we're going to deal with this as soon as I'm done this presentation. To deal with it. So I want to tell us what we're going to do today. So we're going to choose high quality professional headshots, right? Pick a background image that is relevant to your industry. In these days, it's easy to design your own. If you don't find a background image, get on Canva and just type LinkedIn background image in health, or I'm in the health space, but you can just type LinkedIn background in whatever space you're in, and a picture will come up and you can tweak it a bit to suit you. All right. Writing a strong headline. So use keywords. Victor already mentioned it. I'm not dwelling on it. Highlight your role. If you're a digital marketer, put digital marketing. If you're a content expert, put it there. Highlight what you're doing. All right. Write a compelling summary. We're going to look at that today. So your first paragraph. Now, for summaries, I like to say that they are very individualistic, right? There is no while there are guidelines, I don't know that there is a set out rule. Just make it interesting. Your first paragraph should tell a bit about yourself, what you have done, what you're looking to do. Now, I know that a lot of us are losing writing skills because AI does a lot of writing for us, and there is no shame in using AI, right? If we had a lot of time, I would have used AI to craft a beautiful summary. However, if you don't tweak it, it won't suit you. Now you have to tweak that AI tool to suit you. So if you're going to use a cheat like AI, I mean AI is not a cheat; it's a tool, just the way you're using Google. Google is not a cheat code. So if you're going to use an AI tool to craft a summary, for example, give it the right prompts. Tell it, okay, I am this. This is what I want to communicate. Make sure you are prompting it with the emotions that you want to evoke. I want to communicate that I am an authority in the space of, say, digital health. I want to communicate that I am an authority in digital marketing. This is the experience I have had. This is what I have come out of those experiences with. Add those things to your prompt so that when the AI is generating this thing content for you, it's generating it, or it's not generating one generic content. It's personalizing the content, right? So that's one thing about prompt engineering. Now I'm teaching AI, but basically, if you want to use AI tools to make these things better, because I know a lot of us will, it's not bad, but make sure that it is personalized to you. Make sure that it knows your key achievements and your skills so that it can add it. Make sure it knows what your future goals are and your aspiration so it can add it to the summary. All right, so your experience session, focus on your achievements. Don't just say, oh, I was so. What did you do in that role? Okay, because I was, it's just the way we say for CV optimization too. It's the same thing that people want to see measurable results, right? They want to see what you're able to do. And so you have to be able to communicate that too in your LinkedIn. That, okay, I was able, if somebody sees that you increase revenue by 20%, basically most business owners are concerned with sales, operations, or marketing, right? Those are like the three major things that drive business owner. So if you can tell them how you improve sales, you can tell them how you improve the marketing of any product, you can tell them how you improve the operation or service delivery of a company, you are game. Most people want to see how are you beneficial to your business. All those other long talk doesn't really tweak people. So show results, right? Use the right skills for maximum impact. List the skills that are relevant in your industry. If you're trying to get a job in project management, please list skills that are relevant and match the job descriptions that you're trying to get. So this is our checklist. This is what we're going to work with today. So you can take a screenshot, whatever it is you want to do. This is what we're working with today, right? So I'm going to stop this slide presentation here and now, because this is our bus stop. We are looking at checklist. So I just breezed through all of that, and I'm being fast because Victor has gone through some of those things. So that's why I didn't take my time to explain. In case you're wondering why I'm just rapping. All right. So this is our bus stop, LinkedIn optimization checklist. I spoke about headline first, and then I said write a compelling summary that highlights your value, and then showcase achievements in the experience section, add relevant skills that match your industry, and engage with connections. Victor spoke about that one, so we're not doing that a bit. So, but I'm just going to touch on that. I know Victor was asking us to connect with people, reach out to people, but it's very, very, very important that when you're connecting with people, please connect with people in your industry and don't be shy about that. Like, don't be shy to reach out to people in your space. It's very easy, and I know that a lot of people are treating LinkedIn like Facebook now. They're just going there, posting. I have no problem with posting personal stories because it helps people see that you're human and you're not just a work machine. So go ahead, post personal stories. However, be careful that you don't turn that place into just a diary session, right? Be careful what you post, and then be careful who you connect with too. Like, you can have 1,000 or 20,000 followers, but if they're not relevant to your field, they won't serve you much. So please pick connections, pick people who are in your space. And when you're sending connections, especially if you're doing it from a laptop, it will ask you, do you want to send a note or from a web page, right? Rather than the app. it will ask you, do you want to send a note? Please send a note. Say, hey, I like what you're doing in the product design. I checked two of your designs out, and I thought they were phenomenal. Can we connect? It's a no-brainer. If you praise somebody, if you make the person's head swell, the person will connect. The person will just want to connect with you. It's a normal thing. I've had people who I did that to, and they were like, oh, thank you so much. Do you have any questions for me? Would you like to talk to me? And those are how like I make connections that get off LinkedIn, right? Because most of my goal most times when I'm connecting with you is how do I get this conversation off LinkedIn to our emails and then further down the line. So if I'm chatting with somebody on LinkedIn, I'm like, oh, hi, I'm busting your brain. I'm telling you, oh, I read an article, and I'll actually read the article about you. Oh, I read an article about you. I did this. And the person is like, oh, wonderful. Everybody likes to be praised. Everybody likes to, if you're reaching out to somebody, you're either praising or you're saying, oh, I like this work. This is how I feel like it should be better. Respectfully, obviously. But people like that. All right, so let's dive in. I'm going to look at, I believe you guys can still see my screen. I'm showing us some of like the most recommended okay, thank you. Some of the most recommended LinkedIn pages. And I chose these ones not because I like them or I like but I just like the fact that they are diverse. So I'm taking some diverse pages. I know they're not Nigerian, but we're in a global world, so please embrace the content. All right, and that's just to speak to connecting to. Please, we are in a global market space. Don't restrict your connections. Don't say, because this person is Nigerian, this person will connect with me because this person is Indian or Ghanaian or American, this person will not connect with me easily. That's a lie. A lot of people are actually quite open to having conversations with people from all over the world. They want a mix of people. All right, so let's look at this profile. I said our checklist has, so I'm going to keep our checklist in mind. Sorry, let me go back. Our checklist has headline, it has compelling summary, it has achievement and experience section, and it has relevant skills. So we're going to start with summary, this about page, right? So let's look at String Nguyen's. This is a Vietnamese name, so I believe she's from Vietnam. Her about page. Let's look at her about page. She says, I went from a KFC chick to building a multi-million brand, Chubbyverse. First, I graduated as an interior design. I love the creativity, but the 9 to 5 killed my vibe. Now we're learning about her, right? In this statement now, I'm already saying, this person is creative. She doesn't like 9 to 5. She became an artist, so she definitely has a lot of expression. She has worked in KFC before, which means she understands retail business. That, and she doesn't have to tell me that. I can see from just looking at her profile. She understands day-to-day work. She understands retail life, which gives an experience that she has an understanding of being a middle income earner or a very low income earner. Still, I kept moving forward slowly and consistently. Folks kept asking me how to market and create social content on social media. I switched gears again and I went all in on content marketing and personal branding. I jumped on LinkedIn early and gained traction by doing videos and was recognized as a LinkedIn top voice 4 years running. With my first startup, Trusted Voices, using the 7V framework, we helped Invisible. I mean, you guys can read this. So what am I trying to pull out from her profile? What is she doing differently? I wish we had time. I would have taken feedback from everybody, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm trying to keep a bit of time. I know I'm already stretching that. So, so I might not be able to take feedback from us, and that's making me sad. But okay. Her headline precisely describes what she does, right? She's a serial entrepreneur. You can see that from she found her first startup. Even that already tells you this person is very good. This person went into interior design. This person is doing graphics. She's doing videos. A friend pulled her into NFT. She explored that space. Based on her network, she got a team together. She created 250 hand-drawn chubby unicorn, uploaded it to an NFT marketplace, and she made money from it, right? If a KFC chick can do this, she's referencing her past again. If a KFC chick can do this, so can you. My advice for you is never stop being curious. Now, this is a very personalized. That's why I said there's no hard and fast rule to how an about page should look like, which is why I'm showing us like a diverse about page, right? There's no hard and fast rule. This person tells a story and I love it. I'm drawn in, right? As opposed to sounding unnecessarily professional. And Nigerians are too guilty of this, which is why I'm also showing us diverse LinkedIn page. A lot of us just want to sound like, oh, I was the head of so. I did. You are too rigid such that a lot of people, when they land on your page, they read the first paragraph and they leave because the post is just professional. I worked in the bank and I did. Everybody knows 9 to 5 what we do, right? But once you are telling a story, like somebody wants to get, okay, what did this girl now do? I'm seeing chicken. I'm seeing she went from KFC chicken. That line alone, I'm sold. I went from KFC chick to build a multi-million brand. Now I want to know, how did you do this, right? That line alone sells me on this story. I want me to, and I want to get involved. I want to get involved. That emoji alone, that chick emoji, is selling me. I want to follow it. I can see it up, I can see it down. So I'm like, okay, she makes a reference, she calls it back. Even in speaking, this is a very important rule, right? In writing and speaking, if you make a point at the end and you make a reference to it at the end, anyway, let me not get into all of that, all of those stuff. It just makes it perfect writing pace. All right, so let's look at another person's story, right? What we've gotten this, that this was personalized, this was a story, this was interesting. She used an inspirational story from getting from KFC to a multi-million brand, and that is inspiring enough that you want to check her page. Just one more thing in her page, you can see her top skills are very relevant to what she does. She's an influencer, she's a woman in tech, she does content from the creating videos and all of that she said. She creates marketing strategy and she's an entrepreneur. She started multiple business before. So from landing on her page, you can clearly tell if I want a marketer, I know she has marketing experience because I've read it from her about page. I'm seeing it in her skills section again. All right, let's go to the next account. We don't have so much time.
Okay, thank you. Well done, Anita. But just a reminder that you have about 3 minutes left. Yes, the time's up, but you can have about 3 minutes to round up. Thank you.
Okay, so that means I didn't get my exact 20 minutes, but that's fine. I love. Thank you so much, Leah. I do want us to keep the time, so I am.
Oh, you did. You got your 20 minutes, and it's up already.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah. So it's sad that I won't be able to take a LinkedIn page, but if you don't leave with anything, leave with this. Make your LinkedIn profile your own, right? From your header to from your image, from your clear image. So and I was just showing us, I was going to show us this page just to show that even his background image, it wasn't necessarily professional. But guess what? Especially at the stage where he is, it's okay for him to do that. And it's actually not very sad if you actually make your LinkedIn profile into your header image something that is not rigid. So mine is a bit rigid. I wanted us to pull up. So see, mine shows exactly what I do. I work in the intersection of digital health and AI actually. So I work for a company that partners with IBM to use AI in digital health. So this is the space where I work, right? I work in this space. So my LinkedIn profile says, hey, I'm in this space. This is what I do. This is where I am. Right? It shows my company, it shows my header. My about page is so and so, right? It's professional. It says what I didn't want to use my own, so let me skip. All right. So I wanted to use other people's own just to show diversity, because I don't want to say, if I show my own, it would be like, oh, I'm saying I'm good at it, and I don't want to do that. So let's do this. This person, because he has spent years in it, is able to summarize it. But you see how he still made it his own. That final statement, his New York Times bestseller, Work Rules, has sold more than. He's still tooting his horn in a way that is not rigidly professional, right? One last person before we go. I had like 6 that I wanted us to look at, right? So she goes straight to the point. I'm not big on this because, like I said, I like storytelling. I'm not big on this, but why the only reason why I highlighted I highlighted that one is that even though she, what's it called, her headlines are like multiple, they are not exactly distracting, right? She's marketing lead of North America at Mom Cozy, so she actually works for a company that is specific about moms. So when she puts proud mom there, it makes sense because you trust somebody that works for that company because she puts in proud mom. So if you see profiles like this that have a bit of their personality on it, it's not, half of the time it's not a mistake. It's linked to their story, is linked to their business. So she's a proud mom, she's a creative director, she's a content strategist, and she's an eternal optimist. The entire headline is still communicating what she does. Even though there's mom there, there's still a bit of communication that this is what I do. This is who I am. And so I just wanted us to learn that if you don't take anything from this, take that this is your calling card, right? Nobody hands out business cards anymore. So this is your calling card, and take it as that. It means this is the first place. If I meet with somebody and I chat with you on an event, most times this is the first place people come to check you out. So what do you want people to know about you? Tell your story, right? Tell your story through your LinkedIn profile. And that brings us to the end of today. I do hope this was supposed to be as practical as possible, but I hope that by showing you this LinkedIn profile, you can go on your own, research LinkedIn profile in your space, right? So if you're a content creator, Google best content creator, what's it called, profiles, and then read their about pages. Like, take your time to actually do that research. That's why I'm showing you what to look out for. Check out for their headers, check out for their about section, check out for their skill section. Take all of that and then take the insights you gather from all of those people's pages and then craft your own. Like, lean on the shoulders of people who have done it before, which is why I'm showing us all of this. And look for, check, this part, the part that says marketing lead, that's the header. So check our headers, check their about pages, and then use that to craft your own. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening today. I had a wonderful time.
Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you so much, Anita. If you enjoyed Anita's session, because I know you did, please drop a round of applause, and a round of applause for Anita. Thank you, Anita. Oh my God, that was actually really practical. And well, I mean, I know you wanted to have a one-on-one session on the call to probably, optimize somebody's LinkedIn profile from the call, but because of time, we can't do that. But since there is already this icebreak session that I gave a task to everybody to, actually get a bucket list, a professional bucket list, get 3 items, 3 of their career goals, and drop later on. We'll ask them to drop it. I know you'll be willing to, optimize one of our best winners LinkedIn accounts for us, So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anita. That was really, really, really a hot session, a practical session that is very, very insightful and very, very educative. And for me, I know I have learned, some tips to actually note and check for on my LinkedIn page. Yes. So guys, we are still in the digital DigiHive webinar, and don't forget, the topic is job market success, how to actually get your job market success. All right. So well, before my next speaker comes in, I don't know if anybody has a question. And if you have a question, I'm taking just 2 people. If you have a question, I think you can actually raise your hand or drop your question in the chat box, and then we can treat that before our next speaker comes in. So yeah, I would just give about a few seconds to see if anybody's hand is up, and then we can, yeah. Any question, anybody? I'm sure you have a question. Is it because we've not started asking questions? Hey, you have to have a question. You know how when we were in probably high school or university, I don't know if anybody's still in university yet, but that age when we're in school, there's this belief that if you don't ask questions, you probably don't know what you're doing. I don't want to say that's what's going on here, but you have to have a question. Please, you must have a question. 1 or 2 questions, anyone, anywhere. Okay. I want to believe I have really smart people on the call. Like, these people are definitely hot cakes, smart people. So there is no question for now. Oh, finally, there's a question. Good. Oluwaseyi, please go for it. Unmute your mic and please tell me, give us that question. And which of our speakers are you directing your question to, Victor or Anita? Yeah. Thank you, Oluwaseyi. I'm here.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning, Shay.
Yes. Okay, good afternoon. Yeah, so I'm directing the question to Anita.
Okay. Anita,
Okay, yeah,
so
the person now.
Please go ahead. I'm listening.
Go ahead with your question.
Okay,
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so the question I want to ask is that, okay, my LinkedIn account now, like for the career I want to go into. So if I want to search for people that they have similar career as mine, and possibly they can also offer me like a job opportunity, will I just go on LinkedIn and go to the search button and just press the career and everybody name that comes? Is there a way I can streamline my search options to know specific people I want, and also maybe based on locations and all those things? So is it possible for me to do that? That's my question.
Oh, definitely. So LinkedIn has buttons that I don't want to go and share my screen again, so the class is not long. But yes, LinkedIn, if I put up somebody's name, so I'm actually doing it now, but I'm okay. I guess I can be sharing my. There's no need. So if you search for people on LinkedIn, you can use you can streamline the search to say. So what I usually do for the most part is I use industry, but if you want to search for job roles, that's fine. If I want to search for project manager, for example, you can put in project manager and then go through. You can put in project manager Lagos. The LinkedIn search is very, 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 very a little precise, right? The algorithms are very good. So even by reason of location, if I search and I'm in Lagos, it actually gives me people in Lagos. If I search when I'm outside Nigeria, it gives me people that are in that region where I search. So it depends on where you are. Now, if I want to say project manager Netherlands, for example, it's going to give me project manager in Netherlands straight up, right? If for some reason I'm looking for project manager in Netherlands, I guess I should just sharp. Celia, you forgive me.
Okay, you have to help us make that snappy. Thank you.
All right. So if you search for it, it's going to bring it up straight up, right? So this is what I was just doing it as I was talking to you, right? Project manager Netherlands is bringing it up, right? If you want to search for particular industries, which is what I do most times, and I don't go for, especially if you're going for a job, I don't go for directly, hey, good afternoon, I want a job. They get a lot of that, and most people don't respond to that. Instead, find out, and to do that, you're going to have to do a little more work. If you actually want to reach out to somebody for a job, don't say good afternoon, I want a job. Say good afternoon. I saw your profile. Let there be a connection first. When the person connects with you, you can now say, hey, you can go ahead and speak about the job, but then you have to sell yourself very, very hard. Or if, for example, you're a designer, or you have like, and I'm picking out designer because designers can pick a specific thing, right? Or you studied their company model and you're a business developer, you can say, okay, have you guys, I just wanted to know if you people have ever thought of using so skills or marketing in handling your marketing in Africa this specific way, because in my previous role I have worked on this before and it was effective. I just want to know how you guys are doing this. people are more likely to actually respond to you. And like somebody was saying yesterday to me, if you want to sell to somebody, sell yourself or a product, get the person talking more. Once you can get the person talking, you have won the person. So if the person can respond to you and say, oh, this is what we are trying, this is what we're trying, oh, I like that you're interested, you can now say, oh, I'm actually looking for new roles in blah, blah, blah. But to actually answer the question you asked, yes, if you're looking for a specific region, you can enter the specific region. If you're looking for jobs for people, when I search for Google, in Google Health, for example, I go to Google Health and I search people. I put in Google Health, the company, I go to people, under people, I go to people that are leading the roles that I want to, and I connect with them. That's how I do connections that I make it work. All right, thank you so much. Back to you, Sulia.
All right, thank you so much, Anita. Thank you, really. That was, I think that answers your question, Oluwaseyi. I believe that must have answered your question. Oluwaseyi, are you there? Did that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So I believe maybe you were not on the call when Victor also spoke. He talked about using the hand or Boolean search. So, if you really want to specify what you want, you can use the hand. Okay, you want to look for a product manager, and you just keep using the hand in Lagos, Nigeria, and so many things. Or not, if you want to streamline and remove things, you can actually use that. Yes. So yeah, that's very great. Anita, please kindly drop your LinkedIn URL in the chat box for people to connect with you. There's a question on how to connect with you on LinkedIn. So you can drop your URL, so they click on that and then, boom, they have your profile to their availability. Yeah, so thank you, guys. Thank you. I believe we're still in line with our timing. And yes, I think with no further ado, we can move on to our third speaker. Yes, guys. So we have our third speaker, the person of Ayomide Apantaku. Ayomide Apantaku, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon. We're already in the afternoon, but good morning, good afternoon, anywhere you might be right now. Ayomide will be taking us through cold emailing and how best to search for opportunities online. Cold emailing and how best to search for opportunities online. So yeah, Ayomide, I believe you are ready for us, and we are also excited and looking forward to hear from you.
Good afternoon, Sulia. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. And thank you, Victor and Anita. I've gained so much from the LinkedIn sessions already, and I probably need some more LinkedIn classes as well. Just share my screen. So I'll be speaking on, my name is Ayomide Apantaku, and I'm a software engineer at a company called MindGuard. And I'll be speaking on cold emailing and how best to search for opportunities. So what's cold emailing? Cold emailing is basically sending messages to someone you do not know, expecting them to reply and trying to possibly get a business partnership, or could be for funding for a scholarship to a professor, or could be for a job as well. So that's basically what cold emailing is. And to send cold email to someone that you do not know, you need them to be able to read your email first. So there are certain things that you need to do to try to send the perfect cold email. And what I believe is the first thing you need to do to even send a cold email is to make sure you are sending it to the right person. For example, if you are trying to apply to my company, for example, as a salesperson, and you send me a cold email, no matter how perfect your cold email is, I wouldn't be able to give you a positive response because that's not my department. So you need to first of all identify the right person. That's why you need to go on LinkedIn, search for the right team you want to message, the right role of the person you want to message, the person you think might be in the best position to give you that opportunity. That's the first thing. So, and you always want to get a good response, which is not the one on the left. A lot of times you can just get, oh, I wish there was something I could do. And this only happens when you send the perfect email to someone who doesn't have the power to help you. But you always want a response where the person says, oh, where have you been? That means you're messaging the right person that can give you the right answer. Second, the next thing is Your cold email should have a catchy subject. There's a study I saw somewhere that said professionals in the US have more than 200 unopened emails in their inboxes at all times. Additionally, they receive about 120 new emails every day. So there's a very high, the chances of a random person opening your email is very slim. Like, it is really slim. So you need to make sure this person can read your email. And that's where you need to have a very good subject, a very catchy subject. For example, let's say this first context, let's say this person is Samuel and he probably works in an organization and he writes articles, maybe technical articles, or he has a blog that he writes. This is the best way to reach out to this person, and I want to work at that person's company. I first of all go and read the article. I know what this person does. I have an idea of this article. Then I use a very catchy line that says, "Oh, Samuel, I read your recent article and I have a few questions." Immediately that piques the person's interest. And what does the person do? The person wants to read your mail and see what you said. Or for example, the person got a new role and probably hiring. The first thing you probably want to do is congratulate them at the new role. First of all, they are thrilled when they see that kind of congratulatory message and they want to read the mail, and then you can talk about everything in the mail. Or probably a product person that maybe they just shipped a new product and are trying to work with the company. Go on their products, test what they are building, look at the features you like, look at what you don't like, and you can easily see something like, "Oh, I love the new upload feature." And obviously this can catch someone's interest. Another example is, reaching out to a fellow INLAG alumni. Or let's say it's a role that says it's a mail that someone probably sent and said, "If you are interested in working at DJI, please send your CV to us." You can be as direct as possible and just say, "Oh, I'm very interested in working at DJI," and that's so the person sees, "Oh, this is an application to the job ad I put out." Or something as simple as, "Oh, a quick question about customer onboarding at DJI." This easily piques someone's interest and they want to find out what your mail is about. So now the next thing after reading your mail, now you want to go into the details of the mail. The first thing you want to do is personalize and be as direct as much as possible. I know Anita mentioned using LLMs and all of that, using AI rather and all of that. You can use LLMs to write some of these emails, but you need to make sure you personalize them because LLMs are very generic. If you send me a message with an LLM, I would know and I will be pissed immediately. So you need to make sure you edit it as much as you can, personalize it so it doesn't look as generic as an LLM would be. And I can see, because LLMs lack the ability to convey emotions. So you need to be able to, and emails have to contain emotions as much as possible. So you need to make sure you're personalizing these. You can use an LLM or an AI to get your structure of the mail, know what you want to write about, then go on and rewrite it and edit it in a way that you really want, but just use the AI structure that it has given you, basically. So don't say "Dear Sir" or "Dear Ma" like a generic message. The first thing you want to do is address the person by name. You know who you are sending the email to, probably "Dear Sulia" or "Dear Anita." Make sure it's as personal as possible. Then the first paragraph, you introduce who you are and why you wrote the mail. For example, if you sent the email as regards maybe you read the person's article or something, and the first thing you want to say is, "I'm sending this email because I have a question." Say who you are, then ask your question about the article you read and all of that. Then further down the line, you can now say, "Oh, I also saw that your company is recruiting and there's an opening on your team. I would love to be a part. I would love to apply and join your team, and I'd love to work with you." That way, you've gotten the person's attention. The person has seen how invested you are in the opportunity. The person has seen how much time you've taken to do your research, and they know, okay, this person. Now there's that connection already because you've spent time knowing what the company does, know what the person you are messaging herself does, you know what they're about and all of that. And that emotion and connection has been established already. Now, context-specific samples. For example, these are context-specific. That's why I say context-specific samples. Just you can talk about why you think you'll be a good fit for the role, or talk about the solution you are proposing for the pain point of the organization. For example, if you've seen a particular product, if there's a company you want to work with, for example, and you've seen and maybe when you were onboarding yourself, maybe during the sign-up process, you saw that there were some things that could be improved. Maybe you are a designer and so there's some things that you could improve in their onboarding process. You can propose that to the organization and explain the solution you are proposing to them, and that way, whoever is reading, or maybe a product manager or the CTO or the CEO already sees, oh, this person would be from that point, the person already sees how much of a good fit you will be for the role, and they will be very interested in moving forward with your application, or even engaging you in the first place. Also, if it's a research probably for a role or something, you can talk about your qualifications, where you've worked, and all of that. We'll talk about the article, research paper that you read, and add any ideas, and let them know you like to work with them. And lastly, always include a CTA. Now, a CTA in this sense is basically your contact details, and let them know and prompt them that you are willing to discuss and contribute to the idea or the company or whatever it is you are messaging about. So don't just write all of that and not give that prompt, because you could easily just read all of that and move on. So what you want to do now is let them know, yes, okay, you've read everything I've told you. I want you to reach out to me. So now that's why you need to include your city and tell them, this is your contact detail, this is your phone number. They can call you and discuss this further. So I want to share a sample of a tweet. Now, this is a sample of the tweet from someone called Angela Yu. Angela Yu is a Udemy instructor, and she has a consulting company in London called London Art Brewery. And I saw this tweet some time back, and it said she deleted the tweet after about 3 or 4 hours. So I couldn't get the exact tweet anymore, but I just crafted what I think the tweet looked like then. So she basically said, London Art Brewery is currently recruiting to hire a front-end wizard. Send your resume to robots at something, something, something. And that was the email. And I saw this email very late in the evening, and I just said, let me even play around. And this was my response to that tweet. So I sent a mail to that particular email and said, now, look, first of all, look at the subject. My subject was front-end wizard ready to cast some code spells. Now, for someone who probably put out a tweet that this person has over 100 or 200,000 followers, so you can imagine the amount of applications they would have had. So the first thing you need to do is what? You need to stand out. You need to make your application stand out as much as possible. They have a lot of mails. Why should they open your own? Now, they don't know the content of your mail. The only thing they see is the subject. So you need to make sure your subject prompts them to even want to read your mail itself. So you need to be as interesting as possible. So that's why I chose this subject and said, front-end wizard ready to cast some code spells. And then I went ahead and said, dear robots, I hope this message finds you well. Now, the content of this email lacks any form of officiality or seriousness. Now, because the original tweet itself said front-end wizard, there was some humor in the job ad. So what I basically just did was play around and added humor to the proposal, and I said, I hope this message finds you well. I recently stumbled upon Angela's tweet seeking a great front-end developer, and I thought to myself, this sounds like a quest for a code wizard. Well, good news. Your signal has been received in Digital Eater, and I've decided to apply for the role of your next front-end developer magician. Why me, you ask? Not only do I speak fluent TypeScript, but my React Redux skills are top-notch, and my CSS incantations can make dullest UI dazzle like the stars above Hogwarts. Now, I tried to bring in as much humor as I could into this mail, and guess what? 2 days, I can't imagine the thousands of emails they received, but guess what? 2 days later, they actually sent me a response, and they said, thanks. And now you can see that they found the humor in the mail, and the first thing they said was, thanks for sending me your resume and applying to the position, front-end wizard at Ayomide. To be honest, I don't do that much front-end anymore, so I was just playing around. And what they said was, your CV and website look promising. Now, the only thing I sent was my CV. I didn't even send them my website. So that means they actually went through my CV, because my portfolio link is on my CV. So when I saw on your website, I knew they saw my CV. That means they actually went through it. So they said, your CV and portfolio looks promising. I would like to invite you to the next stage. We got a quick coding challenge for you, and all of that. And that was basically it. So you can imagine the thousands, and that's how to That's how to get a response from, because the truth is, job applications, even for recruiters, it's hard because of the number of applications they get. So they need someone who can think outside the box, first of all. Don't be regular. Don't send a mail like a regular mail or someone asking for your CV. Just try to think outside the box and be as creative as possible. Because a lot of times companies want to hire you to do things you've not done before, not do things you've always done. So they want you to be as creative as possible. They want to think outside the box as much as possible. Yeah, so that's just to add to this, I didn't reply them after this. I actually ghosted them because I was really interested in the role. So how best to search for opportunities? Now, how do you find opportunities? The first thing you need to do is what? Network. In as much as possible, try to network with people. I know we've spoken about LinkedIn already. The first thing you should do is what? Attend career fairs. I know Flutterwave has this thing called job fairs where they do in Lagos, Flutterwave job fairs. Attend job fairs, connect with recruiters, connect with fellow people in your field rather. Secondly, connect people who work at organizations you'd like to be a part of, maybe now or in the future. Now, this is very important because there's something I do when I want to work at an organization. Let's say I want to work in Sulia's company and they don't even have an opening. I can just connect with Sulia on LinkedIn. And I've done this with people I've worked with in the past. For example, the last 2 companies I worked with, what I did was I saw the company and I knew that, okay, I'd like to work with this company. The first thing I did was I looked for people that I know I would love to work with, and I connected about 5 of them, and they accepted my connection. Now, as at the time when I even connected with these 5 people on LinkedIn, they didn't have an opening in their organization. There was no opening, nothing. About 4 months down the line, there was an opening, and I applied. And I sent one of them a message, and I said, I just applied to a role at your organization, and they called me for it. I think now I don't know if the guy actually put in a word for me or not, but they called me for an interview and I actually got the job, and as I started working with them. Now, the advantage of connecting people on LinkedIn is this: a lot of times, so many jobs don't even get posted on LinkedIn. The only people who post those jobs are the managers or the people on that team. So you can only see these jobs if you have connections with them or if you are following those people. These jobs are not posted anywhere except, oh, my team is currently, they can easily put something like, my team is currently looking for an experienced accountant. Something as simple as that. You would never see this job. You would never see it anywhere because it's not on LinkedIn. It's not on all these job platforms. They only repost it, and guess what? It's people who are their connections that see those jobs quickly. So the first thing you want to do is connect with people connect with people in organizations where you think you would like to work and be in their circle. I keep telling someone, I said, I've never seen a Paystack job advert before. I don't know if it's just me, but I've never seen it before. And these people recruit because I know people who work with Paystack. Don't let me go into that because this was actually recorded. So that's just it. So connect people you like to work with and all of that. Secondly, job boards. Career websites. There are career websites like Indeed. There are job boards like Indeed.ng. Now you can go on Indeed and basically search for roles you would like to work at and apply. There's one I recently discovered, Block. I also know Jobberman in Nigeria. Then LinkedIn as well. I think if you're in Nigeria, LinkedIn will show you Nigerian jobs. Then you can also filter by location and all of that. Then now for global jobs, if you want to work with global companies, there's Snap-ons and there's Glassdoor. You can also just go on Glassdoor and apply because companies go there and they post openings directly on the platform. Another section of recruiting is they are called all-in-one recruiting platforms. Now, these are recruiting platforms that basically have ATS systems within them. Now, this you can't easily go on these platforms and see these
Sorry
jobs.
Sorry to break in, Ayomide, but I need you to wrap up now. We have about 2 minutes for you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm wrapping up now. So you can't easily go on these platforms and find those openings because they are embedded in companies' career pipelines. So an example is Monzo. An example of this is Monzo, for example. I went on Monzo's website and let's say I went to their career page. This is their career page, and let's say I want to apply to a dispute advisor role. I clicked on dispute advisor. It showed me this particular page, which is their dispute advisor role. Now, when you look up, you will see that this job was actually posted to Greenhouse. Now, Greenhouse is the recruiting platform that they are using. But guess what? This particular Greenhouse, you can't go on Greenhouse and find this job. Now, what a lot of all these remote.io and remote OK do is what they come and crawl all of these websites and find these jobs. Now, that's why it's very important to something I call now there's Google, for example, something I call Google search operator, something called Google search operators, basically. And you basically just use some of these Google algorithms to crawl and search on all these what are they called? All these AI recruit, all these I'm already rushing. All these recruiting platforms, basically. And basically what you can do is come here and do sites. But so the syntax is basically the website you want to crawl. Let's say I'm using liver.co, which is the recruiting platform here, or greenhouse.io, or greenhouse.io, or workable.io, or ashbyhq.com, or dover.io. And the role I want to look for is what? Content writer role. And I want to look for content after 2024 0801. So what I can basically do is come here, take all of this and paste it in Google. Now, this is the power of a search engine. Now, what Google does is Google crawls out all of these roles that have been posted on these recruiting platforms that I have listed here in my search parameter. Now, the thing with this is some of these jobs you might never find them anywhere. Some of them might not be posted on LinkedIn. Some of them are only in this company's career website. Now, how do you go to a company's career website when you don't even know the company? That's why it's very important to use things like this, because, for example, a company like Moonpig that I've never heard of before. So I would like to know that they're hiring an SEO content writer, or it might not even be on their LinkedIn. So I find it the most effective way of getting remote jobs. Just go there. Then once you paste it, it loads up different jobs related. I'd love to do this live, but I just added a screenshot. It loads up different jobs related to that search parameter, and you can easily come in and also put in keywords you want to search for. For example, content. If there's a particular tool you want to add to the parameter as well, let's say Microsoft Word. Now, if that particular job ad has any of these keywords that you've added, it's going to show up. For example, because I set content writer as a job, it's bringing up all jobs that have the keyword content writer in the job advert. And that's why we have these jobs here. And as a follow-up, always make sure, now don't just apply to those jobs and leave it there, because one, recruiting is hard because of the tons of applications people get. It's very important to follow up. Do a follow-up. Reach out to people. Once you apply to a job, reach out to people on LinkedIn that work in the organization you want to work at, or on that particular team. Let them know you've applied. Or reach out to those recruiters. Let them know you've applied to that particular role, and see where it goes from there, at least. So that way, let them know your name and all of that. So even when they are sifting through the thousands of CVs, they can easily see your name. Or some can even tell you, oh, send me your CV directly. And they don't even have to search through the thousands of CVs that they've gone through. So make sure you follow up with members of the organization on that team or in that department that you would like to work at. And yeah. And after that, pray. I feel like I know that's probably the most important thing. Pray for favor. Thank you, Sulia.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ayomide. Yeah. Thank you so much. Like, oh wow, that was a really.
My time was not up to 20 minutes.
Very insightful. It was supposed to be 15 minutes, I believe, and you used 25 minutes. So I think today is just fast, because even me, I don't want the time to go by so fast. I'm really enjoying the session, but we can't help it. There's no way to hold on to the time. Yeah, but thank you so much, Ayo. All right, guys. So Ayomide, please drop your LinkedIn URL in the chat box so that everybody can, connect with you. People can reach out to you and connect with you. Thank you so much. Okay, so, well, I have my co-host on the call, and I would love to hand over to my co-host. Yeah, the person of Amara. Amara, are you there? My co-host will be taking over now, so I would love to just introduce my boss, my first lady, woman in tech, doing good, doing favor, doing all the nice sneaky things. So Amara will be taking over, and I hope we all enjoy the session from now on. Keep enjoying the session. Don't forget there's a task that you get reward for. That's to craft your that's for you to craft your professional bucket list. 3 items of your career goals, and then we'll reward 5 for us people that will drop it once it is time. Don't worry, Precious will let you guys know once it is time, but I'll still be here co-hosting and hosting and host. So welcome, Precious. Thank you so much for joining us, and love to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Leah. How many of us agree that Leah is like the life of the party here? But yeah, thank you, Leah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our speakers that have been on so far. So I know that we've been emphasizing LinkedIn. We cannot overemphasize that. And I mean, if you know me, I'm like Team LinkedIn, right? I got most of, in fact, half the opportunities I have today in terms of work came from LinkedIn. Where I work today, somebody reached out to me on LinkedIn. I think that's what? Okay. All right. So yeah, so I'm also Team LinkedIn, right? Very much. I think I took a session with a business school in South Africa about 2 weeks ago, and this person reached out to me on LinkedIn too. So when we say LinkedIn is like your best shot at getting certain opportunities, right? What is the harm in it, right? Have an optimized portfolio or profile like Anita and Victor have touched. Learn code mailing. Code mailing cannot be, in fact, I think we should have dedicated 2 hours, right? Our last speaker to teach us on code mailing because it is so important. And I hear a lot of people who they are maybe newbies to the tech space, and they are trying to get maybe an internship or to volunteer with like remote organizations like across the world. The fastest way they do that is through code mailing. There are a couple of templates online that you can copy, but last speaker has done justice to telling us how to do it, and I hope we took notes. I sincerely hope we do, right? Because code mailing can be something to get you land your next job or next offers. So, yeah. All right. So let's get on with it to our next speaker. Like Zia said, we're going to definitely have a session where we pick our 5 people that would have one-on-one with our experts in the house on how to optimize their LinkedIn for best yes. Okay, so our next speaker is Miriam. Miriam will be teaching us on or be taking us on interview mastery and how to ace your job interview, which sounds pretty interesting, right? Because please take down your pen and biro, right? Coming from an expert, I'm here to also learn a lot. So, hi, Miriam. Can you indicate so we can spotlight you on the call?
Yeah, hi, Precious. It's a pleasure.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's good to see you, Precious. And it's a pleasure connecting with every one of us this, I guess, okay, it's afternoon already. This afternoon. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Ayo Midday. I think at this point, I also need to up my code mailing game. Yeah. And also for the LinkedIn optimization, I also need to do more in that space. Thanks so much for all the speakers I've spoken. You all have spoken so well. Now, I actually will be taking us on CV optimization for local and international opportunities. I think that's noted. Okay, that's fine. Please permit me to share my screen. Okay.
All right, Miriam, in case you can hear me, we can't see your video in case you're turning on your camera. Just check it. Yeah.
Okay. Entire screen. Okay, I will be turning that on now. Thank you. Windows. Share. Okay, can you all see my screen now, please?
Yeah, it's coming up. Yep, we can see it now.
Okay. I also need to turn on my camera. Thank you. Okay,
yes,
that's fine. Hello, everybody. Okay, yeah. I'll be taking us on CV optimization for local and international opportunities. And the question I'll ask before I begin this session is your CV good to go? Now, getting to it easy peasy, I will say that most persons tend to use the word CV and resume interchangeably. Yeah, they tend to use CV and resume interchangeably. I think I'll be clarifying that in this session. Yeah, no, CV and resume they're actually different. And what a CV or what a resume. But by the way of introduction, it's prerequisite to note that in a competitive job market, it is very necessary for our CV or resume to be well optimized. And looking at the fact that most companies now uses the ATS, that's the applicant tracking system, to screen CVs. So you have to ensure that your CV is optimized at all costs, and that's why we're having this section this afternoon. Now, what a CV and what a resume? They say a CV is as an in-depth document that describes your career journey step by step, and it also includes your personal information. And now that used to stay in our present world, most persons uses the CV for academic purpose. Please note that. While your resume is a professional specific document, it is very short, very straight to the point document, and created to apply for a specific job. Now, for an active job seeker, it should be noted that you need a resume. Yeah, because if you're applying for different job roles, so definitely you need to have different resume in applying for these job roles. And that's one mistake most job entry level persons does. They tend to use one CV, use that CV to apply for customer support, use that CV to apply for HR, use that CV to apply for social media management. That is wrong. You have to have a resume for different jobs. So if you're applying for a customer role, a customer support role, it should be noted that that CV you are creating should align to that role you are applying to. So that's why you have to check what the JD, the job description from the company, what they want. Then you extract that, modify it, and put in your CV. So even if they are using the ATS, it will surely show that your CV have what they want. Your CV will definitely be picked. Let's know that CV is or your resume is pitching you in your absence. You are not there to tell the employer what and what you can do. You can only do that when you scrape through to the interview stage. But for the recruitment stage, the first stage, which is the CV submission and application, your CV is the one pitching. So you have to ensure that CV suits or align with the job description of the company. I think that is noted. But as far as possible, try to be practical in this section. Yeah. So I will be showing us example of a CV and example of a resume. I think we can all see. Let me view this. Let me view this from this point. Now, this is a CV. I'll show you a CV and a resume for the same person. Now we are looking at Elizabeth Smith's CV. Now, starting off, you can see that okay, you have a name, definitely, a contact information, yeah, by the right, then a career summary, then you see our research interest. So looking at this, you know that this is for academic purpose. Now, our education, PhD, masters, then our publications, what she's done over time, the conferences she has attended, courses she has taken, her teaching experience, then before her professional experience. Then she also noted her certification, then volunteering experience. Then the last thing she stated there was her general skills. Yeah. So it should be noted that most of the times our CV is like our academic diary. It's used for academic purpose. Please let's note this. But for an active job seeker, you tend to use a CV. Now let's look at a CV for still the same person, which is Elizabeth Smith. She's a search engine optimization and marketing professional. Now starting off, yeah, our career summary is there. Then our contact information, very, very important, where she stays, her mail address, our LinkedIn profile link is also stated there in our resume. Then the work experience now comes first. Unlike the CV, whereas the work experience is coming like the fourth, section in that CV. But in our resume, you are seeing our work experience first, our skills by the sides, what she's done over time. Looking at it now, you see that all our job roles are relating to marketing, search engine marketing specialist, marketing intern, social, business. Okay, she has an MSc in business analytics. So that's it. That's an example of a CV and a resume. Please let this be noted. In case you are job hunting, you should have a resume. Yeah. Now let's get to it. How do you create an outstanding resume? I feel for everyone, we should have that skill of creating a resume. I think we should all have it, because I don't think you'll be able to, every time you want to apply for a job, you start giving to a CV writer to write for you. Though if you give it to me, definitely I will write it. But I think we just need to do this ourselves, because you're applying as a job seeker. You should know that it's not something that will come on a platter of gold. At some point, some people are so lucky, first, second try, you get called for an interview. Why some people have to try over time? So you have to learn how to just edit this resume to suit the job role at any point in time when you want to apply for a job. Now, how do you create an outstanding resume? I'm being so fast because of the time, So, but if you have anything, you can call my attention to it. I'm here. Yeah? So now, how do you create an outstanding resume? Now, let's get to it. Now, organize your resume section in this following order. And I said before that for the purpose of this presentation, I'll be dwelling more on resume, because we're talking about job opportunities here. Yeah. So first of all, you have to have your full name at the top, your contact information. Now after your full name, you might want to add, okay, maybe for me now, I might want to put a CV writer, if that's if I'm applying for a CV role, a CV writing role, or probably a community management role. I'll put experienced community manager. I might want to put that because that particular CV I'm writing is for that job description, and it's job specific, so I can put it because everything I'll be writing in that particular resume, it's relating to what is stated on top of my resume. So you have your full name, your contact information, that's your state where you base. You don't necessarily need to write your home address, number 15 Adede Street, no, you just put your postal code. Yeah, you check, oh, you are staying in Abuja, for instance, you are staying in Gwagwalada. What is the postal code for Gwagwalada? You can extract that and put that, then you can put the state. So you don't need to put your full home address. Yeah, I think that's noted. Your career summary and objective. Now, when are you to use career summary? When are you to use career objective? Now, you tend to use career summary if you have experience, you've been in that job line for 2-3 years. So definitely there's something you've achieved. And I note that our sports speaker Anita spoke about measurable results. So in terms of what you've achieved, I've done I've used my interpersonal communications, to organize a program. You just have to state your achievement in that career summary. Why for your objective, for a starter, an entry level person, you can just do career objective because you are just starting up. Then after your career summary objective, then you do your work experience, your professional experience. Please let it be noted that your professional experience begins from graduation. So you've graduated, it can start from your PPA as a core member, what you've done, then your professional experience can begin with that. You don't start, you can actually use, if you have done internship, yeah, I know some people that are in the science department, they're going to do internship within their program. So you can add that. Yeah, the people in nursing, yes, they've gained experience while they are working. So you can note that. But the one you do after your work before you gain admission, that is not necessary. Please let that be noted. Now your education, yeah, starting from your present education, MSc, yeah, if you add MSc, you can put your MSc, or if it's even PhD, you start from your PhD, sorry, I said PhD, sorry, PhD. Then after your PhD, then you can put your MSc, then your BSc. Yeah, then skills, yes, the skills should be aligned to what they want. So that's why you have to go through the job, the job description. You have to go through what skills do they want. Interpersonal communication, yes, effective communication, be it writing, be it verbal, community management skill, your soft skill and your tech skill, if possible. Yeah, your tech skill, you can use Microsoft Teams, you put it there. And for someone that is applying for an administrative position, definitely you should be able to know Teams, your Google Documents, Google Form, because you'll be needing this training and certification. So if you've done any training, if you've done any certification, you can put it there. Then you can now put your referee, you can put your interest. Yeah. Now, your number 2 point is that you should keep it clean, professional, and easy to read. Now, this is talking about the font style and the font size. So you should make sure you don't use complicated fonts for your CV. Please just make it so easy to read. Yeah. So you use bullet points for clarity and focus. Now you are done with oh, you work with AJD solution or AJD consulting. Now, what do you work as? You work as let me just give an instance here, please, so that we'll be seeing it. I think I have my CV here. Okay, now let's look at this. Let me use this as a description. Now, this is my CV, this is my resume for a CV writing skill. Now, I said a CV writer from what year to what year? October 2021 till date. Where do I work at? Soma of Abuja. Now, I'm using now my number one. What are the things I did in Soma Hub? What are the things I'm doing in Soma Hub? I listed number one. Then going to number two, my dot is there to show my number 2 point, to make it so clear. So I don't have to complicate issue by just packing everything together. And the person is like trying to, where is the full stop? Where is the comma? You just have to make it as clear as possible. I think that is noted. Now, ensure consistency in font, margins, and style. Yeah, most of the times for our fonts, we tend to use Times New Roman, yeah. You tend to use Cabrin, yeah. So those are the fonts that is actually recommendable. Then for the margin, you can use 1.5. Yeah, for the style, just try and use something very simple. Yeah, I think that's it. Now, going to the third way to write an outstanding resume is to be job specific. I've said this. I said your professional career begins from after graduation, except for your teaching practice. Yeah, people in the education line, your IT experience, clinical experience for medical students. So your CV, your resume should align with that job you are searching for. So another trick to this is you've already seen, okay, what the job requirements, you have seen it, right? Then now you can use that job requirement now to now create your own CV. But you don't just have to put it word for word. You put it, you extract it from the job JD and put it in your CV, in your resume. No, that's not done. You have to modify it to also suit what you've done over time, so that even if they are using the ATS, it will be able to say that yes, you have this, then the ATS will be able to screen your resume successfully. Now, going to the next point. Now, ensure your mail address is professional. I've seen this over there and I thought it's so funny. You're using adasexy@gmail.com. That's not professional now. Come on, guys. That's not professional. You're using email. You use the email. You now add a lot of numbers. If the person tends to say they want to even copy the mail, maybe they're trying to copy, they might miss a number there. And that's the person have lost that opportunity. So number one, your email address should be as professional as possible. Or you put ungobaby@gmail.com. No, that's not professional. So yeah, if you don't have a professional Gmail, please ensure you create one, a professional mail address. Please create one for yourself, and also even your profile picture. If you don't have a professional profile picture, it's advisable you just leave it. Instead of using probably a selfie, I think Victor mentioned this, a selfie, maybe the one. No. If you don't have a professional picture, you can just leave it blank instead of adding, an inappropriate picture on it. Now, I talked about postal code too. You don't necessarily need to put your full home address. And people that are looking for remote opportunities, your country of residence is just fine there with the postal code. Then input your LinkedIn profile link on your resume if your profile is well optimized. So if you feel your profile is in line with what the job you want to apply for, it's advisable you extract your LinkedIn URL, then you put it on your resume so that they can easily, if it's, they can copy it and also go through and see what you have been doing over time. I think that will also make you stand out. Yeah, no, looking at the right CV means there are a lot of means about the wrong ones flying about CV and resume writing. So let's actually clarify this. Do you need to put a photograph of yourself on your resume? I think no, because most of the times when the ATS is screening your resume, they tend to, your picture is there. They tend to, the clarity and all that might actually obstruct what the ATS is doing, and your CV might likely not be picked. So for that particular reason alone, it is advisable to skip that. You don't necessarily need to put your photograph on your CV. And also sometimes too, it's advisable that your resume shouldn't exceed 2 pages. Like if you can do it to be one, please, as a starter, 1 to 5 year experience, because you're not, if you are putting the job what you've achieved over time, you're not putting everything. It's just your job achievement you need to put.
Hi, Mariam.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to cut you in. Sorry to cut in abruptly. Quick one, right? So we have like 3 minutes more for your session. Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
All right. So you don't necessarily need to put your photograph because of space. Then you also need to avoid career gap on your resume. Yeah, if you've stopped working for a while, definitely there's something you have been doing in that period. That's why it's advisable. Even if you've stopped working, try and volunteer. Try and volunteer just to ensure at least you're also growing. You're not just dormant. So it's advisable that you should not have a career gap on your resume. Now they say you avoid irrelevant hobby or interest on your resume. Yeah, that's true. Okay, now you are applying for a customer support role, for instance, and you're putting traveling as your interest. So you will leave their work. You're telling them that at any point in time, because you love traveling and it's one of your hobby, you can just leave the work and travel. So that's actually not necessary as an interest. You can actually put researching. Yeah, you can put, networking. You can put event planning. You get it. You make sure even if you are putting your interest, it aligns to that job you are looking for. Your referee can be provided upon request. Yeah, to also save space. And sometimes our referee, they are actually notable people in the society, and you don't even just want to put their details out there. So you can just say upon request. Then once they request for it, you can do that. Now they say AI doesn't give you top quality CV. You must review and add few things to stand out. I think Ayomide also mentioned this. I think Anita also mentioned this. Yes, AI can do the job for you, but you must add your own touch into it. AI don't do the job and just leave it that way. No, you have to add your to stand out, because definitely it might give you something generic, and you need to stand out with your resume. So definitely you have to add your own touches. Always submit your CV in PDF format. Please and please never submit your CV in Word documents. Please convert to PDF and send to the recruiter. Please note that. Attach an introduction or cover letter to your resume when submitting for job opportunities. That brings us now to the cold mailing. So when you don't just add your CV there and just submit it that way, or you add your resume there and just submit it that way. No, that doesn't work. Ensure your subject of your mail is stated. Look at the way I made this one. Like that alone just gain attraction and attention rather, and before you know, they DM him for more. So I think on the subject of a mail, if you don't even have any, just write the job you're applying for. Apply application for the role of so application, just do that. Don't just submit, and ensure you add a cover letter. Give an introduction, write something before attaching your CV to it. Now, for remote opportunities, highlight access to stable light and network service. Yes, if you're applying for remote opportunity, ensure you write there that, oh, you have stable light. Yes, you have access to a good internet, not just because remote opportunity also comes with what they require, which light is one of it, and they need your Wi-Fi or your network connection should be intact. Try as much as possible to eliminate any type of grammatical error before final submission. Please and please, you check, you preview and preview over time. Ensure everything is intact before you submit your CV. Then I also wanted to mention anything. Now, for local and international opportunities, you should know that there are cultural differences. If you're applying job in Nigeria and the one you are sending abroad, there are cultural differences. So you need to note, okay, each country, like for UK now, I'm sure they use Europass. You can use Europass. They use Europass to create their CV. So you can use, you're applying to a job in the UK, check Europass, create your own CV, add your own touchings to it, and check for the charge for a local company that they might be more communal. They like community development programs, so you have to add that to your CV. Now, for the international market too, there is one thing they want to. Probably you're applying to France, for instance, that you know that they speak French, and you have someone that you also know, due to the fact that you are going to the global market, you've learned French over time, you have to state that in your language sector that yes, you can speak French. If you ever have certification for it, you can also do that. Now, if you're applying for an English speaking country, you have your IELTS and the rest, you can also put that in your CV. Yeah, that yes, you've done the English proficiency. So definitely you can communicate at this level with them effectively, because communication, you can tell, is very key. So my time is not up. Okay. Okay, I think
actually.
All right, thank you so much. If you have any question, you can drop it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miriam. Thank you. Okay. Hi, everyone. Please, can we give a round of applause to Miriam? It's not easy, right? And I think there's something she mentioned that I think we should emphasize, the fact that you cannot have a one fit all for your CV, right? You just have to have variations for different opportunities. Of course, if you're looking for a remote job, it's great to highlight some things, right? Even though most of them still do the internet test and all of that. But yeah, thank you so much, Miriam. So right now we'll be having our keynote speaker in the person of Chiamaka. Hi, Chiamaka. Oh, Miriam, I see you. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Awesome. Yeah, so we'll be having Chiamaka come up shortly. I don't know how many of us are excited for our keynote speaker. I am personally because of what she'll be talking about, right? So she'll be teaching how to move from entry level roles or junior roles into I agree, Sunday, into leadership roles, right? A couple of us are already like senior engineers or senior associates or whatever, right? And then it's time for the managerial positions. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to be having Chiamaka come up now, but before then, I'll just read a bit of who she is, right? So she's a seasoned professional with over a decade of experience in finance, technology, legal, health sector, in emerging economies, right? A decade is not being, picking a child that was born 10 years ago should be in secondary school. Yeah, maybe just one or something. So yeah, such a long time, right? And I think she of course has a lot to share with us from her experience, right? So she has a BSc in economics education, master's in business administration, all from Unilag. She has worked across several organizations and currently works with People and Culture. She's the current People and Cultures manager for Africa's most forward marketing cloud and technology company, right? So she will discuss, among other things, the hiring process, what attracts HR professionals and recruiters to a CV, and strategies for candidates to stand out to recruiters. So, guys, with so much joy, please can we pave the way, or can we unmute and welcome Chiamaka as we spotlight her? Hi, Chiamaka. Can you speak so we can spotlight
Yeah,
you?
hi guys. Can
Hi.
you hear me?
Yes, but it's echoing. But we can't see you. Is it just me?
Please confirm that you can see me now.
Are you joined with the device? Took out the
No. So I'm connect. So we had a bit of a connection issue, right? Which I'd explained
right.
to
Right, I see you now.
Samuel. Yeah.
I see you
So
now.
I am connected via 3 devices, but I think the echo has reduced now.
Yeah, it's totally gone.
Okay, awesome. So we can go right ahead. I think I'd like to start out by saying thank you to everyone who has spoken so far. They've really done justice and they've made the work super easy. So please, if we could give a super round of applause to every speaker who has come before me. They've done an amazing job. You know, there's so much to unpack and learn. So I think it would even be great to have the recording maybe made available. I know how much people pay for the wealth of knowledge that you've gained, right? People charge as much as sometimes $50 and upwards to review CVs and the rest of it. Okay, we've had a lot of learning. So let us take a small break. We have an icebreaker that we're supposed to play. I don't know if it's Juliet or Samuel that's handling that. So let's just quickly get into it. I think we're doing it via Slido, right?
Yes, we're on that presently. Okay, yeah.
All right, awesome. So let's do it. So if everyone could go to slido.com and click the link, enter the joining code. Let's break the ice. Okay. Has everyone joined? Are you able to join? So once you join, I think you can just enter your name and then we can share the progress. as well with the questions and all of it. There's a small gift for the winner at the end. Awesome. Precious is there. I see you, Mohammed. Hi. Stardom. Okay, Sam. Ayo, hello. Samuel is actually joining this thing. Samuel, you should not be joining. So please, if that's Samuel, please shift away from there. I see Blessing. Okay. Awesome. Ade Dolapo, Dorcas. Okay, I see Sunday as well. Okay, so once we have maybe like we can get started. Hi Yunus, hi Yunus Habib, Blessing, hello. Victor Hunter Turner Olatunji. Is that one name? Interesting. Okay. Okay, so let's not waste further time. We're already running behind by a few minutes. I think that we can start the quiz. Please, Google is not your friend for this exercise. Google is not your friend by any standard. Thank you.
We only had 25% who got the answer. Thames was the winner.
I didn't even know. I wouldn't have even known. It was fine. 25%, if I'm very correct. So can we move on to the next one? Oh, may I know this one? Okay. Next. You guys go and watch your football, please. Thank you. So this is like a tech hub. So I believe that this question should be like for everybody. Gang, gang. Okay, let's go on to the next. A very controversial Senate president. Awesome.
Sir.
Sure. Oh my God. Which Nigerian athlete set a new African record in athletics? Okay, so I think that we've come to the end of the quiz, right? Hey, who is the winner? Ade Dolapo Dorcas. Where's Ade Dolapo? Hi. Congratulations to you. Yay. Can we see your face so that we can clap for you? Very, very well.
I am here.
Okay, awesome. Congratulations to you, Ade Dolapo. So you just send your account details to Samuel. We have a small gift for you. So yeah.
Well,
That
thank
being said,
you.
yes. Thank you guys so much for staying on the call, for staying this long. We will now go right into it. So I'll be presenting from my laptop. So if you do see that I'm not looking directly at the screen, it's because technology is not technology in today. So we have to make do with what we have. Awesome. Please do confirm once you can see my screen. Okay.
I can see it.
Yes.
Okay, cool, awesome. So today we're talking about, we have talked about job market success, and how to craft the perfect CV, resume, cold calling, getting through the door and the rest of it, right? We do know that the once you graduate from the university, it's almost like someone said, ready, set, go, and everybody enters into a particular race. I like to liken the job market to like a race or like a track event where only the best person wins, right? So today in navigating the murky waters, we'll be looking at the hiring process from a recruiter's perspective, right? And then the perfect CV or resume, a personal brand, the interview process, and then a lot of other things. I do hope that we'll have enough time to, ask questions, and then just have an open and honest conversation. So housekeeping, I usually like to say housekeeping rules because it's important to respect other people's opinions. It's important to keep an open mind, avoid distractions, but generally we're here to have fun. I'm a big proponent of having fun. Right. Our objectives, we want to understand the hiring process. We want to look at this job market from the perspective of a recruiter, right? A lot of the other speakers have touched on it, and they did justice to the subject. To identify common pitfalls in interviews, tailor CVs that meet job requirements, and then develop confidence to ace the next interview. So those are just like 4 key things that we plan to look at. Recently, we had the Olympics just concluded, and one thing that was clear was that there was just one number one, right? And many times for open positions or job roles or job placements or opportunities in an organization, more often than not, especially when it's not an entry-level role, you're looking for the best fit. So I have said that navigating the job market is very much like swimming in the Olympics. All the swimmers, everybody who comes for the Olympics is a professional, has some varying degree of skill, right, and have prepared. But there's only one person that takes the gold at the end of the day. And you find out that many times it's not the most qualified, especially when it comes to hiring, that gets the gold. Is almost always the person who understands how to navigate the system, who understands how to present their brand or tell a compelling story, who is able to translate or communicate value that would get through the door, that would get through from one level to the other. So many times when you get rejection emails, it's not because you're not good enough. It's not because you're not sharp enough. It's not because some people have 1,001 certifications, but it doesn't really do anything for them at the end of the day. So understanding how to, make your way through the hiring process from the point of sourcing, from the point of your CV being selected. As a HR person, okay, that's not for me. As a HR person, once you put out an application many times, the number of CVs that you get is alarming. Even people that know that they have no chance whatsoever, there's no relevance to the job, there is no correlation. You can see let me say, a food economist, right? Or a food technician applying for a DevOps role. Please tell me how, what the correlation would be. So those are the type of things that we go through or that we see. And that's the reason why many times recruiters would use a recruitment software to ensure that, just enter the keywords that you're looking for. If your name doesn't make the cuts, well, too bad, right? So moving on, and please, if I do go too fast, just let me know. Okay. All right. So what does the hiring process look like? It's typically like this, right? At the beginning of the year or at the end of the year, an organization has certain goals that it wants to achieve. Maybe, let me use the banking example because that easily comes to mind, or that's easy to explain. With a bank, for instance, maybe their target is to raise 200 billion or whatever the figure is. And at that time, or at the time when that goal came up, there are a myriad of skills, of talents that's needed to be able to get that. Does your bank app work? How appealing are your products to the market? Do you have the right relationship managers, the right salespeople that can, help to bring in the money? Then we come up with a manpower plan and say, okay, this is where we have deficiencies. That's from the HR person's side, right? To say that we need 1,000 direct sales agents. However, at the moment, we have only 300. It means that for the year, we're looking at recruiting another 700 people. So that plan goes into different roles. And then from there, we begin to sort for who will be the best fit for this. In sourcing is when you to say that I have seen your profile, which is what Anita spoke to, I think. Anita and Ayo spoke to having like a good LinkedIn presence. Would you like to please send me your CV? At the point of sending CVs, by the time the CVs are collated, then we shortlist to say, okay, what are the requirements of this job? What are we looking out for? Who matches what we're looking out for? By the time we do that, 10,000 CVs many times gets reduced to like 200. We do another round again, 200 gets reduced to like maybe 10, right? And then we start the interviews. At the interviews, questions are being asked. Sometimes you have some technical assessments, depending on what the role is. By the time we're done with the interviews, then you now go to selecting, maybe you need 2 people on the role, who the top 2 would be. And of course, there'll be reasons why. For every time that you're speaking to an interview panel or that you're speaking to a hiring manager, more often than not, there are a set of parameters that they're looking at. There's a checklist that they're looking at. They're checking for culture fit. They're checking for technical expertise. They're checking for your ability to communicate. You may know, but you may not be able to communicate what you know, right? So communication then becomes, in short, is one of the key reasons why people don't, get past certain interview processes or certain interview stages. You'd be in an interview and then you say, okay, please tell me about yourself. Can I get to know you? And the person just reads out exactly what is on your CV. I have your CV. I have read your CV. I know what is on your CV. So if I'm asking you to introduce yourself, it's because we want to get to know you better. It's because we want to know something more than just what is in black and white. So by the time we're done with the selection process, then there's negotiations, which is where you say, oh, I want to earn 200,000. And then the person says, oh, no, we can pay you 180. And it goes back and forth until you get to the point of closing. So that's just like a simple way the hiring process goes. Yeah. So understanding the recruiter's perspective, I want to try my best to rush through the slides so that we can be able to take questions, because I think that will be more helpful to us here, for people to ask questions, and then I can answer from the other side of the table. So the recruiter's key focus really is to identify candidates very swiftly. Like I said, you have as many as 10,000 applications for one role, 100,000 applications for one role. When I used to do entry-level recruitment, right, you put out, oh, there's a graduate trainee job for 2024 graduate trainee position opened, and then you have 200,000 CVs. There is no way you are going to be able to go through those CVs manually. So it's people who have, the right words on their CV, whose CVs are tailored or whose resumes are tailored to fit the system that is checking it, that will most likely get you. Because again, there's a time limit. We're trying to move as quickly as possible. We're trying to prioritize qualifications that match the job requirements as effectively and as efficiently as possible. Yeah, sometimes, I think we've already talked about the fact that we have a high applicant competition. I talked about the swimming analogy, right? Everybody, more often than not, people who are coming to put forward their application or who want to work in a certain organization have the qualifications, have read the job descriptions, so they know. So it's a highly intense competition, and only the best gets through the door. The impact of first impressions. You need to be able to say that I am the one from the first moment that the person looks at your CV. I'm very thankful to all of the other panelists who have, shared examples of their own CVs, shared examples of people's CVs. I may not be able to do that because conflict of interest, there's data protection requirements and obligations that I have that will limit, the extent to which I can share certain people's information, just because I have access to it, right? And then having a solid online presence. I think in this day and age, if you do not have a strong online presence, or if you're not putting yourself out there, I'm not sure that you're ready. That's the honest truth. I'm not sure that you're ready, because everybody's going to the same market to search for people. Now, let's talk about the perfect CV. I think the last speaker was talking about crafting the right resume and all of it. There is no perfect CV. There is no perfect template, even with AI and ChatGPT and the rest of it. There's no perfect tool to get a perfect CV. That's a myth, and it's not. What you want to be able to do at every point in time that you're applying to a job opportunity, or that you're putting yourself out there, or you have identified an organization that you want to work with, what you want to be able to do at every point in time is to communicate that I can do this, is to communicate the value that you'll be bringing to the business. Organizations are established to make profits, right? How are you going to help the business achieve its objectives? Whether it's as a content creator, whether it's as a software engineer, whether it's as a customer service person, whether it's as a customer success person, at every point in time, you must be able to say that, okay, this is why I am better than any other person that you've spoken with. This is why I'm the best thing since sliced bread. And the only way to do that is to have a compelling resume. So in having a compelling resume, there are certain do's and don'ts that typically we look out for. First of all, I don't need to know how old you are. I don't need to know how old you are, except for maybe entry-level roles, which exactly is not really best practice. That's more a Nigerian thing, where they say, oh, candidates should not be more than 24 years old at the time of application and all of that. When you're doing this type of applications, usually when you log onto the site, they would have already asked you to enter your age and all of it. So there's no need to put your age on your resume. Please don't put your pictures. Please don't put your pictures, right? Beyond even just the ATS taking out, sifting away, but just pushing away that CV, you do not want to create a bias in the mind of the recruiter or in the mind of the person that is shortlisting. What if you look like somebody that I don't like, or somebody that's offended me in the past? A certain bias can come up, right? So marital status is not needed, your religion, your full address as well. For security reasons, right? Please don't put your full address. Someone talked about a postcode. You can just put BI Lagos, Shomolu Lagos, Gwagwalada in Abuja, Kafanchan in wherever, right? Just putting a postcode or just a particular generic location. I don't need to know that you stay at number 15, whatever street, right? So those are just some of the things that people should avoid putting in their resumes. And do not submit your CV in a Word version. Here's why. By the time it runs through certain systems, it gets twisted, it gets distorted. So maybe you had put you had broken your CV into three different sections, each section having certain bullet points. What we've seen, or what tends to happen, is that if you have a Word version, or some people send some interesting PowerPoint version as their CV. I'm not asking you for a PowerPoint CV, right? If it's an attach, maybe you are a design person and you want to attach your portfolio, that's a different conversation. But sending me your CV as PowerPoint, please do not do it, right? So what happens is that the bullet points 1 in the first section can get moved to the bullet points 2 in the last section. And then the CV doesn't make any sense. And nobody has time to begin to sift through all of that. So it's always best to convert your resume to a PDF version, right? So that it doesn't get distorted. Now, what is good to have would be a header. The header that contains maybe your basic information and a solid introduction that just highlights who you are and what you do, gives a summary of your experience so that the person can connect with you at first glance or at first read. It has to be concise and sharp. If you have 2 years of experience, speaking from NYSC till date, there's no reason why your CV should be 3 pages. There's no reason why your CV should be 3 pages, right? If you begin to use a lot of verbose terms and very big grammar, that's not going to be very helpful, right? So you want to go straight to the point. You want to be precise. You want to communicate value. I'll give an example of a recent data science or data analytics internship, intern role that, my team and we've been trying to close out on. Part of the reasons why, someone sends in their CV and then they list that, oh, they are Superman, they worked with the Avengers, they show that they're the data analyst for the Marvel bunch and the rest of it. And then you ask the person one question, and then the person is running from pillar to post. Because I'm going to look at your resume or look at your CV and say, okay, you said that, you analyzed this, you were part of the team that did XYZ. Tell me how you did it. If you're not able to tell me how you did it, clearly you did not do it. So let me speak from the point of maybe someone who is looking to transition, right? Maybe you do not have enough experience in a certain role, which is the reason why I mentioned that data science internship or whatever position, right? What then happens is that that, okay, I have been in customer experience, right? Or customer success. I have interacted with data. I've interacted with information that is maybe data analysis related. I want to move from customer success to data analytics. I have taken certain courses with respect to that. I do not have the 4 or 5 years experience you're looking at, but how can I tie what I have done in the past to what is on the job description? What personal projects have I taken on that is beyond, my normal 9 to 5 or my normal day job that communicates that I can do this job? Which is what I think Anita and Ayo spoke to say, when you're reaching out to a lot of people on LinkedIn, you don't want to just go and start asking people for a job. Many times you see that people post about, oh, I'm working on this project, or you follow the person for a while, you send out a message to the person and say, okay, hi, I'd like to connect with you. I am currently, learning this and this, or I'm currently doing ABC. Is there any project that you're currently working on that you need help with? I'd like to apply for volunteering opportunities that are not paid. Here is what I can do, and here's how I can help you. Best believe that by the time you send that message to 4 or 5 people that you've identified and that you've followed and that you've interacted with, whether on LinkedIn, right, or on some other professional platform, you know that one person is going to get back to you. And that serves as experience for you. Now, if it's someone who is more experienced, if it's an experienced hire, for instance, please don't claim that you are the supervisor or that you're the lead of all the projects that your company is working on when you're not. It's okay to show that you can take initiative. It's great to show that you can take initiative. It's great to show leadership in projects that you've worked on, and identify that, okay, you're a self-starter, you can do things without supervision. What is not nice is to begin to take credit for the work that you did not do, or work that you have no idea about, because guess what? Usually within the first 5-7 minutes of interacting with somebody, I can already tell whether this person knows what the person is talking about, or this person does not know what the person is talking about, whether it's true or whether it's a lie, right? So that's why we say be honest as much as possible. Your resume should be relevant to the job. There's this thing that a lot of HR people say on LinkedIn: I beg to differ. I really, really beg to differ. And that's because, I don't think that it does not make a lot of sense to me. And I say that very respectfully. So they say that, oh, have 100 versions of your CV. You can't have 100 versions of your CV. 100 versions. So let me use a HR person as an example. So with human resources, right, it's broad in the sense that you have people that are generalists, and you have some people that are maybe compensation specialists, people that are recruitment specialists, people that are learning and development specialists. You are currently in between jobs. In the last 5 years, you've only worked as a learning and development person. That means that what you've done essentially is, think about, your organization, from doing needs analysis for your organization, and how, you can bridge what will be competency gaps, skill gaps, through different learning interventions, trainings, and the like. Now, because you are looking for a job, or you want to live where you are, or you think that the place where you are is a toxic environment or whatever, you now see that organization A is looking for a compensation and benefits specialist. Please tell me why you have a version of your CV that says you can do comp and ben, when you don't even know the first thing about payroll. You don't even know what portion of your salary it goes to pension, what goes to tax, what goes to this, tell me why. So that's why I said that I don't agree with the analogy that you should have 100 versions of your resume for 100 different roles. That's being very dishonest. And more often than not, once it gets into the system, it will be ditched. Even if you pass through the ATS and the sorting and the selection process, or the filtering process, by the time people start to engage you, they will be, if someone's asking the right questions, you're just going to be wasting your time. Except you're doing all of the interviews for learning purposes, then by all means, I'm all for learning. Please carry on and be learning, right? So what you want to do, or what I think might be a better way to look at it, would be there are certain roles that that you can do, or that that you have the ability to do, having looked at the job description. It's important to look for keywords in the job description and ensure that when you're submitting your resume for a particular role, there are certain keywords on that job description that are in your resume. usually you want to look at the first 3 bullet points. More often than not, that is the organization's pain points. That is the pain point for the role that that we're hiring for. So if a JD says that I'm looking for a DevOps person with experience in what would be maybe knowing how to do Kubernetes and the rest of it, and all of the technical lingua, and you know that, okay, you have 1, 2, 3, and you don't have number 4 and 5, then by all means, ensure that you are highlighting in your resume that, okay, these are the skill sets that I have, right, and is relevant to the role. Not a product manager applying to be a DevOps engineer. It doesn't follow, because they say have 100 versions of your CV and apply for it. So yeah, your job description. Oh, someone has their hand raised. Okay. Hi.
Hi, Chiamaka. I didn't want to abrupt in. We have about 5 minutes more so that we can take like questions and.
Oh, I thought I was told I had 40 minutes.
No.
Okay.
You're supposed to end by 1:45. Yeah.
Interesting. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Getting through the door. Numbers tell the score. Numbers tell the story, right? An effective CV emphasizes clarity, relevance, and is concise, like I've mentioned. Frequent mistakes. We've talked about this, is excessive jargon, just speaking excessive language that is not necessary, lack of focus, and unquantified achievements. Let me see if I can. I've talked about the fact that keywords matter, right? So this is a snapshot from a resume. This is someone who says that, okay, I am applying for a HR manager role, right? And in my previous role, I was the one who set up the HR department from scratch. Here's what I focused on: policies, processes, staff documentation, performance system, regulatory compliance, and whatnot. What I want to highlight here is developed the HR strategy and led the team to collaborate with stakeholders to achieve. You can see that there's a number, 20% workforce growth from this year to that year. So someone is easily able to tell that, okay, if there were only 80 people, you move that to maybe 100, right? Reduce cost of hiring by X%. And how did you do that? So you must always be able to quantify your achievements. You must be able to quantify your achievements. Even in what would be a soft skill role, there must be a way that thing is contributing naira and kobo or dollars and pounds to the business. So articulate that and ensure that you have it. Okay, so yeah, before you come to an interview, or before you apply for a job, or before you build you want to have a personal brand. Everybody has a unique identity. So you need to sit down by yourself and articulate, right, what are my strengths, what are my experiences, what would be my areas for improvement. I don't want to say weaknesses. Identify that so that whenever you are engaging, you are able to highlight your strengths and your experiences, and even tweak those areas of improvement as things that are not red flags, right? So you want to always leave a lasting impression with your interviewers, and one way to do that is to be authentic. And let your personality shine. Please, when I say let your personality shine, don't go clowning. I know that you're a funny guy, you're a funny lady, but please don't go clowning. Read the room. Don't go and start jesting and saying all sorts of weird jokes, right? It really doesn't follow. Let your personality shine professionally, right? Be authentic and let your personality shine. So for the interview, it's important to prepare. Many people come to an interview and they don't know the first thing about the company that they're applying to. So how is that supposed to work? Right? So you need to research the company. You need to look for people within your professional network on LinkedIn that are somehow tied to the organization that you're working in. You need to go and look at their posts. If they have an IG handle, if they have a LinkedIn handle, look at the type of posts that they've put up or that they've put out, and then you would even be able to identify problem areas, right? With that, you're able to craft questions and say that, oh, I saw that in a recent post on LinkedIn, you put out that, you know, acquiring customer data is a major pain point. And I'm speaking to customer data and all of it because, you know, that's like marketing technology where I work. Have you thought about, you know, liaising or you know, collaborating with this company or that company? I know that they do this type of work that is in line with what I saw that you were looking out for. That tells that, okay, I have done my research. I know what this company is about. Be confident. Be very, very confident. And confidence comes from knowing, right? Comes from preparing. Confidence comes from practicing, looking at yourself in the mirror and having a mock interview with yourself. Tell a story. Again, I say this, the first time you ask somebody, tell me about yourself, they read you the thing on their CV and like, okay, tell a compelling story. If you've transitioned from job to job, or if, you know, you've moved from role to role, maybe you've only spent 1 year across 6 different organizations, that is a red flag already to a recruiter or to the hiring manager. You want to be able to tell a story about how that movement from job to job or from role to role has given you robust experience, and, you know, how you're able to now, you're diverse enough to be able to take all that experience that you've gotten across the different industries, and you can use it to help the organization that you're looking at. That way, you've taken away attention from the fact that you spent only 6 months here and you moved to another role and spent another 4 months. But the fact that, okay, it was project-based, it was the fact that, you know, I felt like I had delivered on what I needed at the time, and I am moving on to the next thing, right? I'm moving on to solve the next problem. And communicate value. You must communicate value at every point in time, at every point in the interview. You are selling. A lot of people who say that, oh, they don't want to be salesperson, they run away from marketing. Believe me, when you're looking for a job, you are a salesperson. And what is the market you're selling? You're selling yourself. So you must be able to communicate value. You must be able to say that this product, if you don't buy this product, then forget about it. Like, if you don't buy this product, you're not going to get this product anywhere else. And guess what? If you come back in the next 2 months or 3 months, the value of this product would have gone up and you may not be able to afford it, right? So you must be able to be able to sell yourself, and do so subtly. You don't want to come at the team as, okay, oh, you must take me, right? It has to be very subtle, but very confident at the same time. I'm struggling not to say very demure and very cutesy, right? But you must be able to ensure that you're communicating value at every point in the interview. That value must be there. Don't tell me, don't tell me that, oh, I don't know. Have talking points. Sometimes it's good to have post-its on some screen that you're looking at, but don't make it obvious that, oh, you are reading from. I interviewed someone once and I had to ask the person that, well, are you reading the answers from somewhere? And she's like, oh no. I said, oh no, yeah. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do a check. Just stare at the camera and answer me directly. And the person couldn't answer my next question. And I said, okay, it's fine but I just wanted to be sure that, you know, you were not reading from somewhere. And be sure to find out, you know, what the hiring process is like. If there's a technical assessment, you don't want to go there not being prepared, and ask questions. If you come to an interview and you have no questions for me, it shows that you have not done your research. You must have questions, and don't ask questions around, oh, how much is the salary? What is the work hours like? Please ask questions that show that, you know, there's something that you're bringing to the table. Ask questions around the company's pain points, which is where you have done the preparation in terms of research. If you have a friend within the organization, perfect, or a friend of a friend, right? They say that you're only 4 connections away from whoever it is that you're looking for, or whoever it is that you want to talk to. So you can find out, you know, from someone within the organization or someone who knows the organization that you're applying to, what their pain points are, and then, you know, ask those questions and ask things around how you can be able to, or you would have mentioned how you can solve it, but then re-emphasize that, oh, I saw that this is the possible direction that you're going to. Have you thought about doing this type of strategy it may even be in their strategy. It may even be part of what they're already planning to do. It may even be part of why they're looking for somebody. But the fact that you are communicating that you know, right, and you're asking the right questions leaves a lasting impression in the mind of your people. Follow up. And I say this with, say this very, very, very calmly and with a sense of foreboding. Follow up, but please, some people, they don't allow you to rest. Why are you calling me by 10 o'clock in the night saying that your name is Justina from the interview that happened 3 days ago and you want to follow up on it? What happened to sending me an email to say, oh, typically, when you finish an interview, sometimes it's good to send an, especially if, you're not sending to a group email. If it's that you're sending directly to a hiring manager, or, you have a direct access to the recruiter, it's good to say, oh, thank you for spending time with me or giving me the opportunity to discuss with you how, my skill set and how my experiences can be useful to your organization. I look forward to hearing back from you on the next steps. And I just want to reiterate that I would be able to do A, B, C, D, E. Please let me know if you'd require any further information from me. Something short, something sharp. You saw was it Ayo? No, there's a guy who shared his screen and had something very cheesy and very sweet that made because of, obviously that was for like a content creation type opportunity or something that required that type of, email or notice to go out. So you cannot be interviewing for compliance and you say, hey, yo, what's up? How I'm the best compliance manager. No. So you need to tailor it to the role and the persona. So every job has a persona. So you need to think about the persona of the job that you are applying to and the opportunity that you're looking out for, and tailor your conversations in line with that, right? I can be very goofy, I can be very playful, but when it's a professional conversation, the tone has to be very different, right? I'm not saying you cannot call a recruiter, but please do not make yourself a pest by calling every 2 hours. It's not going to work, right? It's not going to work. Yeah, so red flags that, people look out for. We've talked about these inconsistencies in work history. And the best way to do that is to explain and to tell a story around it. If it's something that, maybe you had a work break. Poor communication skills. Guys, it's important to practice. If you know that maybe communication is not exactly your forte, or that you get the jitters when you have to speak to people, you can do a mock interview. Get 2 or 3 of your friends, have them ask you questions. That way, you have already built confidence. Negative online presence. Yeah, social media is great and all, but please, I don't want to be looking for what now? I don't want to be looking for someone to represent my brand as an organization, and I see a video of you half clad somewhere. Yeah, and this is supposed to be maybe a highly regulated brand. There's no way, even if you're the best person for the job, there's no way that I'm going to reach out to you. So as much as possible, people who go on IG commenting on all the today ed notes and the rest of it, trolling people somehow, some way, right? If someone wants to look hard enough, what are they going to find? These are the questions that you should ask yourself. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. I think we can take questions at this point. Yep.
Thank you so much, Chiamaka. Everyone, I guess we can unmute and ask our questions, right? I really enjoyed this session. Do we have any questions from anybody?
I think that, okay, maybe because I'm doing this from my phone, so it might be helpful to read out the question.
Yeah, sure. I'll help anchor that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Back in the chat room.
Okay, I think I see a question in the chat. Okay, so there's a question on the training materials, if we can get it. I think
yeah, sure. I'll share with someone.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, and I think Precious mentioned something around moving from one level to the other. Okay, so if you could run that by me again, because I'm not sure that I got that brief, so that I can answer that.
Okay, so from a I guess that was the question I wanted to ask. So okay, for someone like me, right? I'm like already a senior engineer. Yeah. Now the next level is like managerial position and all of that from a HRS perspective, right? So I know one thing that happens a lot in appraisal meetings or post appraisal meetings is when your lead comes and say, "Oh, you did those," and HR always comes with, "Oh, she's just doing her job." When NS is not really my job, right? This is me going above, it's me going above and beyond. So, I know sometimes it sounds like, oh, if you're doing something within your KPI, then it's your job and all of that. So could you walk us through like maybe quick crash course or yeah, whatever we can call it today, right? On how to just move from that level to managerial position that HR cannot deny, and you don't have your boss to do so much for speaking for you.
Okay. So I think that my question to you, first of all, would be on if you have a working performance management system in your organization, and one that you think is, and it's okay for you not to answer, obviously, because this is public forum, right? But many times what typically happens, and where there are conversations that thing begins to drag, and it's like, oh, you're doing your job, and you're like, oh no, I'm not doing my job, I saved the camel from the water and all of those things. It's mainly because you have there are some gaps in your performance management system. So if you articulate, these are your, I don't know if you're using the KPI system or the OKR system for performance management or whatever it is that you're using, but at the beginning of a performance period, typically, you're supposed to have certain goals that you want to achieve, right, for your team or for your unit. Those goals are tied to bigger objectives in the organization, right? You have your stand-ups and your daily meetings, and you're an engineer, so you're supposed to maybe push to production within this period, within that period, and you're meeting all of those things. The first thing to always do is document. If you don't have check-ins, for instance, with your line manager, you want to initiate check-ins with your line manager. You want to initiate check-in sessions, especially if you know that the system might be a little bit skewed or might be a little flawed. You want to initiate check-ins with your line manager. You want to show that beyond just coding and just being an engineer, you are able to do other projects across the organization. So you want to show strength that is cross-functional, not just I am the best person that can code, or I'm the best person that can write the code, right? You want to be involved in projects that make you visible. I think I put it somewhere in the slide to say that you need to be visible, you need to be valuable, you need to be visible. Even when you get on the job, you need to be visible. And more often than not, before you get a promotion or before you are moved from one level to the other, you've already started acting in that capacity, and it's clear. A challenge that many HR people so sorry, I'm using my phone. As someone trying to call me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
Okay, awesome. Okay, yeah.
Is it just me? I can't hear Chiamaka.
So I think what I'm going to do is since we're done with the presentation, right? The challenge with my laptop was I wasn't able to share my screen, my video. I wasn't able to show my video. So I'll just turn off the phone and then just unmute my desktop, right? So that I can speak.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, so that it doesn't get Can you hear me now? Can everyone hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay,
You're
awesome.
better.
Okay, thank you. So what I was saying is that a challenge that a lot of HR people have with tech guys, which is the reason why for organizations like, Microsoft and Google and the rest of it, they've hacked that whole stressful behavior of engineers and tech people, because you people can be very stressful. I'm going to call you guys out here with my full chest and say it as it is to have people that are okay being individual contributors and people that are okay to do both the the technical work and can also morph into being leaders. So it's good to have an honest conversation with yourself and know which one are you. If you're an individual contributor and you're okay being an individual contributor, you don't have any business even raising your head from your computer most times. Those types of people are usually just stuck in with their system and just doing the work. However, if you desire to have a hybrid type of relationship, in the sense that you want to contribute technically and then also provide, go through the managerial, move from senior engineer to like a managerial position, it means that you must take the lead. You must begin to show that you can lead before those conversations happen. And it should be clear, such that when HR is dragging, your line manager is speaking for you and there is evidence to show that you've done it, which is the reason why I spoke to check-ins. At those check-ins, you're saying that, okay, this is my KPI or my OKRs for this period. Here's what I have done. Beyond this, I saw that, the product guys were struggling with maybe understanding our perspectives on, creating this feature or deploying this feature or doing whatever. And here's how I've worked with the product people to solve it. In addition to that, I've also coordinated, the team. Maybe they're having problems getting engineers to do certain things. You should show that you're able to rally. You are the influencer in that sense. Influencer is not just social media influencer. You are the influencer. When there's a problem, they know that they can come to Precious to say, okay, see, we need to fix this. Get your guys to work. Already you're showing that you're ready for the next level. The truth of the matter is that next level is not going to be handed over to you. Companies have there's a reward system, right? And you must also understand what your company's reward system is. If you're an organization that doesn't promote until after 2 or 3 years, you have to be exceptional. You have to be an A-star candidate for any change to happen. So you must know the organization that you're in and know how to navigate it. Really, it's more of a political nuance type of thing, right? You must know the company politics and know how to play it. But you must also have data to back it at every point in time. Mm-hmm. You must always have data to back it at every point in time. And when your line manager is saying that, okay, so let me give an example. 50 to 60 is C, do nothing, maintain status quo. 61 to 70 is a B, for instance. This person if you score that in an appraisal at any point in time, you're only entitled to maybe a bonus or maybe like a salary review. If they're doing 20% salary review for everybody, your own will be 40% because you're in a B category, right? 75 and above is A. That means promote, right? If the organization is promoting or if the organization has the ability to promote at that time, because sometimes promotions may be deferred or delayed because of budget reasons or for whatever reason that the organization is. Yeah, your line manager is 74.2. My dear, you want to fight for +3 or +4, and you want to push back. So many people just think that, oh, I've done my appraisal and I just send it to my line manager. Whatever they gave me A or they gave me 25. No, this is not Unilag anymore where they are giving you. If it comes back to you, send an email to, okay, can I have a conversation on this appraisal? I want to know why I was ranked this or why I was scored that, right? And then you are coming to that forum, to that meeting with enough evidence. Yeah. When I worked in the bank, I had a friend, right? She was always on A star. When she's going for appraisal conversation, she carries like she's very petite. The documents she's carrying, then of course we didn't have a lot of, it was before COVID. The number of documents she's carrying is bigger than her, but she doesn't come out of that interview with anything less than an A. Rather, of that appraisal, whatever, with anything less than an A. So let me not overflog it. Number one is to constantly articulate your value, know what you have done, and document it. Let it be clear to everybody that I've done it. It's not that, there's shared glory and this is me, this is my work, right? You must show that you're already leading even before the time to lead happens, right? And then, be ready to drag anybody draggable in the most respectful way. Yeah, so that's it. I hope it answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. I'm not even sure what to say, but yeah, I took a lot of notes. Thank you. Okay, I think we had 2 hands up. Hi, Samuel. Hi, Sunday. Do you want to ask a question? Or the crash course helped?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can.
Okay, thank you. I really want to appreciate the speaker. It has been a roller coaster of information today. I just hope I'm able to take all this in. I need a lot of appraisals myself after this session. There are things I need to begin to work on. So I want to appreciate everybody from the first to the last speaker. It has been an amazing section. I think the question I want to ask is what she has actually dealt with the question you asked. So I wouldn't want to go and repeat that and take us back any further. So let me just rest it there. I just needed to open my mic and just say a few things. So thank you.
Thanks, Sandy. Thanks, Sandy. I just want to mention that it's important to understand your performance appraisal system. Don't leave it to chance. It's important to understand your performance appraisal system so that you're prepared beforehand, right? Not at the point of appraisal. Performance management is an everyday ongoing thing, right? Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Chiamaka. Sorry, hands up. Do you want to go?
Yes. Just a quick question. Thank you so much for that awesome presentation as well. Really appreciate. Or let me say 2 questions basically. The first one is from the HR or recruiter's perspective. Please, can you talk about how ATS is being used when you are sieving out candidates? And because I was having a chat with a friend and she was more like, you just need to lift what is on the JD word for word and use it in your CV. But it's stressful because if you're trying to apply for quite a number of jobs and you are doing that, yes, it's right, but it's really stressful from the job seeker's perspective, right? Can we get an idea of how the ATS is being maybe used and how we can best navigate it to actually stand out? That's the first question. Then the second question is, how best, for example, you mentioned at times that you have interviews and you speak with a recruiter and it looks good and they just go silent. I think one thing I learned from the session earlier on was, you can follow up with an email immediately after the call. But what if it gets to a particular point where you're not getting any response from them? Or they just ghost off for a while. You send an email, no response and all. And at the end of the day, it's a rejection kind of a thing. Sometimes it just gets to the job seekers so much that it might not even encourage you. So I just want you to speak from the HR perspective, or let me say people's managers' perspective, how best that can be managed for job seekers, because we have quite a number of young career professionals that are also looking for new roles or looking for their first roles. And yeah, basically that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'll start with I think the rule of thumb, right, with looking for work is that I'm not, my pidgin is not very, very strong, but person where they find work, no, they tire. You can't be tired. You have to balance. There's a point, and let me give a personal experience. There's a point when I was looking for, I needed to move desperately. As I really needed to move, where you just had it up to wherever, right? And myself and my friend, my colleague at the time, We made it a point of duty to apply to 5 jobs every day. So we sort of set a target, right? Yours can be 3 if you feel like, oh, it's going to be stressful. Yours can be 3. Yours can be, you can do 2. You can pick 1, but you have to be consistent. That's the thing. For you to like I said, that there are 100,000 people applying to. If a bank puts up an application for an entry-level role, best believe that, you know, the system will even hang for like the first 3 days when you're trying to sift CVs because it's just too much, right? So you on your own have to be consistent, and then don't take the rejections as I call them love letters. When I see, I say, oh, okay, this organization has sent me a love letter. Cool, let's move on. Sometimes you get down and you feel like, oh, you know, what's going on? What did I not do right? Or what could I have done better? But you can't relent. So you might want to approach it from the perspective of running a marathon as opposed to running a sprint, in the sense that you have 2 jobs that you apply for per day, or, you know, you say you want to apply to 5 jobs every week, so that, or 5 roles every week. So it means that, you know, you're doing 1 per day, Monday to Friday or Monday through to Sunday. That's that. On the part of not getting a response, there are so many internal conversations that happen with certain roles, right? Since this is more like it's mostly a tech community, many times, you know, the hiring manager or someone in a tech leader can come and say, oh, I need a senior engineer that can do this, that can do that, that's like, you know, Tom Cruise, that can do Mission Impossible and do everything. And then you're hot, you go out, you put out the applications, you collate the CVs, and then you send it to them, and they just go cold. And then they suddenly realize that, oh, okay, what they needed that role for, they really could have solved it within themselves. But now you've gone on LinkedIn, you've toasted the candidates, you've engaged. Many times what we do, and I'm speaking for my organization, is to say, oh, that we will be in touch with you, we'll get back to you, you know, we've kept your CV, but expect to hear from us, right? And eventually, sometimes when you get a rejection mail, it can either be that the role has been deprioritized. It's no more priority because what the person is supposed to come and do, there's no need for that. And we don't want to fill seats, right? People actually have to be actively working towards a common objective for the business. Now, for the ATS part of it, I think I spoke to the fact that you don't want to have 200 resumes. Is to look at, you will see keywords when you look at a job description, right? You would be able to identify the keywords on that job description. So it's to ensure that in the first 5 bullet points, so if you have three roles that you've done in the past, right? For the first maybe 3 bullet points or 3 experiences or whatever it is that you're putting, you want to highlight the keywords that are on that job description and ensure that it is on your own CV. You are not lifting the JD and pasting back. Why are you copying my JD? Like, that clearly shows that you are not someone that's going to put thought into what you're doing at work, and it will not fly, right? Even if it gets past the ATS or the system, if when I'm looking at that CV, I'm going to teach it. So, but what you need to do is look for keywords and explain and tie it to your own CV. It's just a little tweak here, a little tweak there, right? If the let me see if I can find something. 1 second. 1 second. Let me look for. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to see if I can find a OBJD on my system. Obviously, I'm not going to share it, but I will read it out. So I have something that says key responsibility: develop and execute a comprehensive product strategy that aligns with the company's mission and vision. That's number one. In your own CV, you can tailor it to read something like developed the 2022 product strategy that led to the development of this product that was, instrumental to the company gaining an increase in revenue by 30%. Collaborate with cross-functional teams, including engineering, design, marketing, to deliver seamless product experience. That one you can lift and put, right? But you must be able to build analytics and track user behavior to inform product. So you now say that, experience with, developing dashboards, analytics, and insights that, track user behavior and enable, the business to make informed product decisions that lead to increase in revenue, reduce cost, better customer experience, better engagement. So you're looking for keywords. You see things like analytics. It's clear that is important. User behavior is clear that is important. User engagement. You must show on your own resume how you're able to drive, how you've been able to drive user engagement, or how you're consistently doing that. So that's you're not lifting the JD. You're just taking keywords from it and making it work. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
Okay, I think Ayomide had his hand up. Akantaku.
Yeah, I did earlier, but I think you already answered the ATS question I was trying to ask.
Awesome. Okay. Hi, Precious.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much, Chiamaka. It's been an amazing session. Thank you for is it what I'm trying to find the perfect word, but thank you for confirming to us that we don't need to have a million CVs, because I think that's such a interesting means to debug this. Yeah, like I tell you, have hundreds for every job you want to apply. I'm like, it is exhausting. It is exhausting. But yeah, thank you for explaining how we can properly capture that and the essence of transferable skills. Thank you so much. So guys, if you've had a very enlightening session this afternoon, please just clap, react, or mute, whichever works for you. Thank you so much, Chiamaka. Thank you to every of our speaker. Thank you so much. So we would, guys, carry this energy and go write your CV and go start applying to the job you want, right? Because there's no better time. Chiamaka, am I right? Like,
yes,
you're so confident now. Yeah, with all these tips and hacks, and yeah, just go start applying. I literally opened the site right now to say, okay, I don't need to write another CV for this, so let's give it a shot. So yeah, awesome stuff, Chiamaka. Thank you, everybody. So now I'll hand over the mic to Samuel, so that we can draw the curtains for today. It's been a very interesting session, but lengthy, so we understand that being here is for serious-minded people to have been on for so long. All right. Hi, Samuel.
Hey, hi, Precious. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much. I think we are already at the end of the webinar, and we want to appreciate everyone for joining. It's been a long call, but I think we've been able to get value, right, for the time. My name is Samuel. Let me just introduce myself, and I'm the community manager for DG Hive, and I have my awesome people here as well. Everyone, I'm happy to also inform you that every of our speakers are actually people and members of our awesome DG Hive network community from different career facets, from different states, from different countries. And that's to tell you how solid we are as one team. And also, I'm also happy to mention to you that our keynote speaker is also part of our board of trustees. So you should know that we have a very solid backing, right, as well as career professionals. And what we do basically is actually to give maximum support, right, to career professionals in different space and different career and all. So I won't want to like just say a whole lot of things. Again, from everything that have been said, I think what Precious mentioned is quite important, and what our keynote speaker also mentioned is quite important for us to, not just listen to this information, right, but actually run with it. When I mean run with it, I mean it's time to get into action at any phase and at any level that you may be right now. Either you are looking for a new role, or either you're trying to change your job, or either you are trying to just move within the same organization. We are sure that one of this particular session is going to be impactful for you. Right. We've tried much as possible to cover a whole lot of areas, and a big shout out to every of our speakers, to Victor Juna, Anita Mudiaga, we have Ayo Akwantaku, we have Miriam, and then we also have our keynote speaker, right? Yeah, so it's just something that is mind-blowing. Every session has been quite impactful. And also from the level of the community, we try as much as possible to make the slides available. I think most of the speakers have already given their consent to release it to us. So you'll get an email from us as well in that particular regard. Yeah, so just wrapping this up, we are also happy to announce to you that in case you are interested in joining us at like becoming a member of our awesome network, you can just visit our website and indicate your interest by filling the form to indicate